ya Wontumi for there
mo bo basa
ya ne yanzu ya che osi ya show pa
oh say no dey
aya ko busa pepe ni na busa peni afa wo jo no mani su bi o msa
akomafo no
ya mom tire na bi o
you say no bia nso mo return leg
ya mo bi ya no mo ya show da
esa be say bo
say ya show da nko ade a Wontumi ne mo
Wontumi
oh ti nyame adom china 4:00 kick off abeba so wo yenye na fe yemfa ayensem no na no pe no ebi doctor say yen kan tro so ye nyadoa wutu ase na no pe se bia wo ye bema wo die aye sexually why emre e wo mpem na sempo wo your bana wa think asem na te kwa ni nyina no mo ko ebi sanse dede e wo se wo tede enso e wo mpem afe o pese wani dabia aye te ana to wani no so wo ko ama doctor so mo dro anoma dro dem ana no ena ye oni padua no adwuma se de be a wo chese o site and IBC basani nyina no obesa regain site na kama biem say stroke ana bana so ye bema na obeso prostate oba na nyina no ebi say yen kan trust branches no mo domain kro ana ne patema ho no wo beneza preschool ana kumasi a ayi adwena say kwada so one ayi chese me market atwo no ma pe ana on sam so ebeka no ya fred dog e wo 0541565199 ebi so ebejo so na high sense say aye AC promo no eguso aye adwumana aye 7th May nyamia no chena ana aye last day to meso and then watchna dey osem kwan bia so no am so 22 more room now kope AC ni bi to sansa high sense dey we be am so already omo product no wo matezu say who na enwachi wo mo say run promo jamana chese bono ensom aba from kra na AC no from 1.5 horsepower adequacy aye 10 horsepower ni nyina no wo benya bia to balance split bano invite bano say aye floor standing models ni nyina no benya bi ensom our high sense enchain ya no ahye no so ma me say entwe nyinam kane ani pi ana high sense enso product bia no aye papa obenya aye ne kan say 5 years manufacturer defect warranty ensom our product awon no so onya no ba bia showroom bia bawo awon patema what bia akwa wo say high sense say ene ekoso ochina promo no da so ginam etu ba be pa bia to open chiremu a wo ba fra 0302 550000 high sense abejo so na kwaja pharmacy draw no enie ye fa no pro code we e draw say your code ana acho ana say kata ana ba wo dia no ensom e flu ama honim enso ni so ana say bia hono bon no ni nyina mo atua wontumi na na jo me kran so ye dia wo draw no e pro code no ana kwaja kare abadwama enso abejo ana mo twimo se ana pane anwumre we e household abusuan chamfa no eno som anie fanu kojak aye charcoal toothpaste and a regular fluoride no eno som ana babua wonum ebe sham obekọ dafon chain a chesenya fe na wo kase ni pa ho a na obi yi ni hwene ade ato nche ne ade nyina no ensom aye kojak komo aye toothpaste and regular fluoride no ana ye kanfo ejamo na ensom ana po cash drug lane ana central market Kumasi a do bi abeso 2 ato bia no benya 0244 559597 na one eye kojak farmer ensom enkasa high sense enie ana se we cement na cement no eye cement vita helba mechane ne capsules no ane e kanfo ensom ademo agan no ajeso etose agan na chese drono ensom ani na oyo bana menstrual pains irregular menstrual flow ana sem prep crowd ye ensom eye koko ena how so ye bema na so yo bana so yo hu ye wi se mo janso am nyina no obekwa gope agan ni bia to ebiem eye bema system eye oya bana me mame a wo dwaso tena fa kocha sisie eni adaje yaw abama na sempo aye sciatica ensom ana aka no entire na fru achi eba woto asensan de aba aye chese na se nyina no se mu atutu na mu yaw ye no ane e fa no se sciatic nerves and pain abam wobekọ ama semensa droi wapabi ensom ato oto dro no wi a no afa number egu adro no serebe a wometro kwa baba so adro no wobanum no enom aye formula anase coda womonsom ademamao na semensa ba clinic edie omoye adwuma ewo Kumasi asukore mampo omone rural bank no ene di enem hwe hono eba no se bi arthritis enom ene how anase sciatica be so call ema doctors enso ahwe se bi ayo bana wo ho nsem ene ade se bema na aye prostate also bone na enlargement ama ni nyina no aye semensa ba clinic ho ho ana kwakwaje wire some machines oh pa and to say be a test and scan nom and chest physiotherapy nom and body massages ni nyina no wo mo ebe amo fra again e was 0240616061
Power specialist about hospital. Yama me doctor kwasi dia ya say. Ano payen kan check Ghana for nyina say hepatitis B ya dia. Wan twa betima twa e de wakos ensia do. Anti se be AC anampo say na tetewa. Wo bo no so ba bo no so tima say ya dia no pai. Na bibia so tima come ban fatty liver. E ban also fibroid ana tete ni na no. Wo bo be say ya dia no ate. Some malaria fever pa na tete wo. Aka so amana che awo so a. Me so the day e ba mala mes no. E be tu say demakov ka ba mixture. Wo bowa ebetu ose dia ya about on the Wontumi ni dia wadromie wonu bia no so ebetima ko na bia ton dro organ bia wo kono so kwakojo dia no pai na bibia so eto kama na wo Canadian hospital no wodu enka ko benya ACP road power specialist about hospital bus stop on ma anewo anwati Kumase yo feaso bosom tukwa na so dia Johnson Tokra dia Niger State ya bantama rubber limited 0244 544422 now so dem pani for sweat makasa Ruta natural product in Ewojaso ayano kan so ko ko Ruta now sweat ban Ruta mesha the channel say malaria today ya de na tetewa ebetu ose deku anam sweat the mesha so malaria hu na adwane enu achi Ruta life no beboa na mpo moja na encyclopedia eni afusa ni ye no anam sweat me encyclopedia ama bias eto akama no achi Ruta to na karabo typhoid fever ebetu ose so atimi da manu anyina no me so the Chelsea hospital and on posa baby a turn to be aqua when source about Makabe 0244485632 Nelson Penny Focus as serious of Chakukulantana and Sweaty with Jasso. Now when Ababua ass and first answer one of Debia Damo complaining some Cano overeating and a Debia Dacanos etimitano Messosi was Ababao a bit to yourself sweat with Damanote Sabia Peso engine and what is and also to extend the Bias at Yukokama and I'm sweating my serious of Chakukulantana and a brow where the answers are all come. Kaketona uswa okwa no chese bia mi ngini senate ye we mera so no mo de hokula atimi dia ma na wo sweat ma use ama bia akokama edama no pai I am 0544133169 so atimi kasa Carestek Air Company Limited say wo mo desire mesha and G capsules and some atimi dia ba na no pai se bia aya gonorrhea syphilis bilharzia candidiasis and atetewa what done in your unum bia no circle afese bia ban peptic ulcer and numbers all kinds of ulcers nyano ebetu asenso atimi da ma enu ati se bia oba na bema watenka sam so atimi ateko Zara mesani G capsules ababuao Zara man aye mema nkuadro de chance bema bu on bema na awu asiri tiasi kojoto wunya Zara man ebetu aseda ma hindi heba mesani so etuti malaria typhoid diabetes wuna na adwane ba bia ton do bia okono akwakojo de 0246348334 na mpani so atimi akasa Alaska Star Enterprise say eban original wallpapers and a blanket as their fa. What am I DB and sweat media about 3D, 5D natural designs and upper PVC floaters, artificial grass and our paninano. What the be sweat media by 2 days of opinion on a pay, no quaco de Kumasia, Jawa Duma, me Patrona Prudential Plaza, edition of Mrs. Anocha Plaza, first floor, and watch and cross circle, tick only 1 man yawa, yeah, Bojima 0200281080 and sweat Macasa, Upe full supplementer, Neso Bios etimati amana wode some etimati CPS ita ay emulate aba supplement ano ana make am answer etimidi aba sansa duo no ay duo wona ay adwuma answer etimo jan anum bia wo mu di wan dance afei ye ma me ma na sama som ana de chane se na mo so mo ye wan adwuma ni nyina no adu ebom ama wode some SCP na esitan ay emulate aba supplement you bako ko pepe if we can talk about pharmaceutical research center mo ana de adu so etimidi aba ba bia ton do bia ko na so Jodie, I am what I saw in Perifoma Casa. I was 0535-112-8739 in Perifo, and some Etmakasa, Midima Fairbar Center, and Dr. Time, and some Etmidaso, me pata Yadiabe and Atetewa, Yadiabe and Hawa, me pata Crankra Abeto, so Doctor at the time Abatoso, Eban Henia and Quay, and Ateteo, and what you Bema Bem, who prostrated Ayakase, me pata Doctor at the time Batoso, and what nti oba na be ma ontime ngo midimafo abedi wasoro ma ama akoda so nye enso etim e wo fie ena no pai abuakwa agogo school junction e won ye wa ye bo adwuma no ati pokos mayera ena enso ti won kapumpani mantemo 0244 774282 na mpanifo enso etima kasa uya no akota bia ba company industries no akwa takum ni bi na boa ye pa esan se takum no anom ana boa ma ne mrante ni nya wona waten kasama teko wona timnya goye wompema da bia na jo ne yere so obu na ani mesawa da takum ababuawo ama bia so eto kama eno ti tabia ba mixture no e ba no malaria jaundice typhoid menstrual disorders ana tetewa rodro ne onum bia abako eno ti tabia zanika no ababuawo infections out when the betu sense what da no pai herbal sops and pharmaceutical sops na no wo kono akwaji adro bi na bia so atimi akokama so atimi adama 0243686861 na ne mpani so atimi akasa natural company limited say wo mi dupa makuma na samiensa ana bedwa so bakwe prostal capsules wo Johnson tentem anajo wo Johnson so a wo tia em wo Johnson so a na se pampa e wachiri ana so Johnson so fita bi frete so timba prostal capsules ana babwa true man capsules ana na US Spain enu ati premature ejaculation betu ose ana so ati da Congo ointment there medical culture da se koko ana tete wanu ati wobu mo dwari anu ogiri ho saa eni ade afei se bia ya de sam apropro ana tete Congo ebetu ose de ma ba bia to do bia okwa won se ka bi 0249017101 na ne mpani so kasa wim sa 3p garlic mixture aya dro se Ghana for now atma jatuma wo bia nu bia ama bia eto kama edama no na mpato se bia immune system na emra aya 3p menstrual pains 3p enu atu na 83 da bia so las anansi ato aya 3p enu atu se bia asthma tetewa bloated stomach ana tetewa wo Johnson tentema aya 3p kopa bi no se so se me pato minerals and vitamins wo do no no ebo mani paduan SCP esita ama bia so atimi kwa kama ba bia ton do Ghana bia oko na so kwa kwajo de 0248928824 na so nom enso atimi kasa Lawson Beverages Company Limited Dr. Lawson ye the Virgin Doctor Sam anopai yan kan fancho say wutimi nya groye awompam a question anadia waduro no delay man bretes eno ana banom na atu ase dia ma eno achi premature ejaculation webi also de boy ni asese na babesen ko ho ofa me se wada nya do bia ebe boy do akagiramo ama bia e kama adama na delay man capsules no se bia wo dia ne cholesterol anampo se kokopa ana tete ho won so dia ayade so ti answer me how anampo se bia oba ko ficha wo te yaw ana se bia o te kasema te ko delay man capsules no anon so betu aboa ba Tonto Ghana bia kono akwajo de 0248619999 akasa
well for me that say yemra na yemra me share your question of today proudly brought to you by Amuzupi herbal mixture prepare say onya infection enko dia abomorian so be kwa pedro ni bi ato say ade no utimi nya free ebia w so washroom ho obu on ma na boja o chese candida gono ene chese syphilis no wunya bia na wakwa Pedro ni bi enso ato nti woto a men ferio because anya ade se bia ne bema na oba be hia mu nkoana otiminya bi infection de otiminya e free washrooms ene ade nti wunya bia na wakwa pe bi enso ato na mama me question of the day na ye bisa say when and also UEFA Champions League player of the week when ana voti amano Declan Rice and I say William Pacho, Declan Rice, and I say William Pacho, and ono a player of the week. Paul.
Ghana for Casa. Pedro Medina Cruz said Declan Rice of Arsenal and Odiaba Fei. Rianza Junior said Declan Rice Afe Abdo Gafa Yusuf and some Echo and some Atimi Ediama Nessa Usman Dembele and Oko Diamana Fe DC Curry and so some Echo and say Declan Rice on any day and Odiaba Lavosman and so William Pacho and ono so Echo Diamano Koku Emmanuel as a Dembele but Arsenal will win the Champions League. Koku Madrid Stasi Mr. Rice and Odaba Alexander Lacazette and some as a Rice and Odaba afe Jenny Amber and so Dama declare Rice Jerry Nasa Tay and so Dama Pacho afe Gidi Brown Jr. as a Pacho His Excellency Nanaya Radio as a Pacho Yao Sabe Amakoma Invie as a declare Rice afe Calvin Yako Dama declare Rice afe Hawa Garo Dama declare Rice a Gregory and some as a declare Rice afe Manu Emmanuel as a Rice and also Etumi Diaba Patrick Ashite as Dama Usman Dembele and also Etumi Edi Aba
Wall yentu so real quick and I pay way do Cantona Facebook say one vote Ediama Declan Rice and a Humphrey Asarin so the man Declan Rice a BMO Akwasi Gagai essay a Rice but won't win and Stephen Stefan Captain Junior one also say Declan Rice and what did the other man we say I'm open watching the show live from Surrey for Sukromi Samela one fashion designer shop waba peke Declan Rice na fe wono avoti enso ede amanana Stephen Owusu Aduomi say good morning fancy I'm watching the show live from Usukrom near BBNE obako ede ama Declan Rice no the message and I no pay no wono ede by say live YouTube no real quick mama sha man for so dia omo ede ba and I no pay na we Stephen Abubonsra say wokodi ama William Pacho and we enso say William Pacho and Rauf and the same message no if YouTube buy do Frederick say Declan Rice and we say your friend a big D on also be voted ama Declan Rice and say I want to miss sports or Biabwa airborne inside Draben. I don't know so all day a message free and some etiaba ti and one no okay ti na ye na I'm saying holiday on one for cool down boys and rest okay and I be I won't so home my shall I say also bet me a project and what na my comment real quick na that was so and so free ho and quote mama from a quick near Comra because Europe and a conference 4 games our honor BW54 1EF D2D 11 O's BW54 1F0 F2B another 11 odds BW54 1F0 153 8 O's Yamran next BW54 1F0 784 and here's 7 last code 6 BW54 1F0 A78 IT I'm ya wada o radin ton supengu so me na weekend bibia be fan kwada na bi school ye ni abrepa
Wontumi
awu susan ne ese pentema nyine ne ka sa efo ai say je bete o nya bete bibia be fine say bibia no obiem okay wo ane ma menya na men komre why real quick ya kwama no ne aba live on Wontumi TV digital and satellite TV no so at the comfort of mufiemu ene mu nyumam do here your remote out the change your channel no Wontumi afaba bia and afemeka say Facebook your new page no Wontumi 101.3 FM and afi YouTube Wontumi TV live ya ko foreign aba ebrana so yenye na fi for stories emrana Madrid DMs Wontumi nyo da
Wontumi 101.3 Nyamensa
Anwanwa juma no you Nyame wo hoda se uji didia obeya juma ansachre nia no you Nyame wo hoda se uji didia obeya juma ye bompaye Shamachi Israel Yehovah Elahenu Yehovah Ekad we ahata et Yehovah Elohika bika luvika uvika naveshika uvika miyodika tode yashak in English in the name of Jesus amen.
Amen. Amen.
Na guess it is how guess no guess no me say how many boys in this year me say guess it is say Wontumi sports no I number 1
chema
anwa juma no you ya me wo da
and some ababa so Paris Saint-Germain kan ko bi wo bo elusu sometime obeka ya name ane aye Mbappe edani mo omulusu san game no and some arma bamunchin ana chasa last season no wo mo say room our final ama koba sa club no wo mo nyaje omo first ever title our Champions League no so no koya enti enwa na tro ana baba the third time na ye ka say no wo mo so nya qualify by the Champions League wo mo final twaso me yensa and some be name manager for Sarike by idea na chasa mienu ana chasa coach no wono some adoma kwa fei wo check aye Arsenal and some temper na chasa the last time a boss Arsenal wo mo so call final aye 20 years ago and no the year 2006 no and a Barca the Gunners aye club wo mo some call final and some our Sanchuma you know to no about the second time and some our club na ba ko semua wo manya Richard near Canada Champions League final nyame ya ma touch no ya be say the second game e be say akonomom ya no shane some and so the mama say kick off at 4 o'clock anumra and chesa second game no and some abakoso awonia ya first Hungary ama chesa no pay no ya the amte tane ya kan nyina no and some at aban onum so omwa woman shall say rate enwa me be catch us a Kalshi omo say Arsenal aye favorite and some at Champions League no and say favorite at Premier League good sir and now ya ka say dia minya nyina no say woman no mo ka say Arsenal and some aye favorite to say na woman shift aye chesa mo so favoritism area kwakoma aye Paris Saint-Germain na jomo kan nyina no say na ya ka say no aye say Paris Saint-Germain team no woman stand 57% chance say nay woman some other clinch aye title no and Arsenal and some general 43% say woman some about me age our brand no ka say no and aye say ya den be siako na wabro so much and pass on nampo nay ye do come onim sana aye 7th intia ka say no aka aye 23 more days and sana woman so game no abaso na chasa ki kan ko be 21 days and sana sa game no woman so matumi aba ye de aye dia kan nyina so ataba na hon komo no nyina no jaminsan kan sa awasam amoye aye fan zone no mete ama report aminsan kan sa wudru aye Paris and na pa aye ka say a owura fan say Manuel Gregoire na ye ka aye Gregoire anom aye mayor and some arma Paris city no na owura fan say Gregoire and was say ye want to just ono de when you come to commercial onom aba so ye fan zone and some our Paris essence wo mo game was a basono and you be na betwe nyeska and some akwakwa sa final match ni bi and some our chasa Hungary and so be intimi nkodia aside say be aye ball aye game no na ye yi our stadium any ade ama chasa nipa bi anya bi ahwere nyina no our so mo ye fan zone and some our Paris odabatuka na fan zone no meto say untimi mfa wo pe say be oye meya and ntino omo bia mane no akwakwa fan zone duru ho a when I don't protect life and property and no aye question mark na meto say Openino, Womusem, Afei, and Obaso, a police from Amania, Nature, some more attack, I said, yo, the police is your friend, Omubabi Mubchare, Wamba Babiana, Womu protect your life, and some other property, no, yes, Afei, and Ogra Fanasa Gregua, and some Abaso, a police from Amania, Sarabea, on the day, almost some other to ensure a year supporters, no, Womusum safety, and in an own seminal, yet the Emma, yet of another picture, Frank Wandia, Nabia Santa, Jumedia Bian, Paris, Abadja security personnel, and some Abasodia, and your Crambia, some from Zono, and some Abayajuma, Nankoma, Guswa, Yatering, and Sodwa Kabamame, and your artist Outdoor. When was on the third date, and on a 30th, no, German San Canasa would do Paris Abra. Yes, sir, I hope I had the bruta. Na yasem ubanya anyumtonibi erisa Anja Nakamura wano our concert our start to France the same day ayabo Champions League final no aya Nakamura and some other performing our start to France and no entem konkonta ebiem and some aya damso and also aya damso concert our near Kansala Defense Arena wano so no dianom ababa so and afa boost concert abakoso our Accor Arena. Next on the DM shows Akasia Abami and Sanning on the 30th no and Sanjumadi no and on some Ababaso Abra Unumie now Shabona just a chibi because Benyarabato Maza I'm saying you take it up and the arsenal. You have a credible the Abassi on the Denmasa to Benato at Hobata na Ningani said the arrangement telling you mano and some Nabasia our Paris na Mano Kasai I'm so by now crowd Paris on Shama Timono woman ya drew a Paris and sa Enwa woman washe amana jono because oh my way into a dama teaching na Yabuba Studios no Anna, Yahusa, I flight, I tracker, and some Paris Saint-Germain Timno, woman two, answers almost a number more. I'm so by 1 hour, 10 minutes time, no, woman some drew I Paris, I just some flight on the coino, and route at the bar, I Paris, and I will shabia, woman some num cremo, and some other fit to buy now credit. I'm said Timno, woman touch it down, and some our Paris cremo. Now, only some match a boss and report on the men say, can send it. Domwa womusu shebie aya 3.31 million and no aya said ya na omonsom aya start no and some arabatuja na cheseni pa over 3,310,000 and chesenwa womu game boss no womusom amonita bie a cheseni game na wi asenyina som apabi ahwe na report amenya no sese sa enwa game boss wa akoba some Paris Saint-Germain for womu dinkunim way aya moment stadium woman I'm supporters so any only some Paris and Montel so and prime because supporters will be a difficult and some other police and you know where near you or qualify Johnny Keke but the probably should have created problem as some fear was my cover some about what Johnny now say will be no just a I am a police way and your Jumaya I'm to cover your police for original tell anybody where police about conti onyana or the bomb arms on police one or my bomb a year citizens any day Emma Chesson or money at tempa and to now some Womosono, womo fight back any address. Womosom never to maintain a law and order. Sani money in another basso. Now, baby cry, you will never be crying for her. Can a babem pay po Nipante Sebia can pay will be taken so many sifam also PH qualify. That's been Essen baby. Nay, Kejatum, among Soma, and your common police for Adea. Woman qualified Champions League final chess. To trust someone. It is not to about Champions League final and you have a program behind was about some credible almost I did ya Nesani I say cry Nanuma El Cosunino German San Canasan and a boss Aquatana your father Vitinha wouldn't say we're born game number 200 and your man Paris Saint-Germain born about Paris Saint-Germain game at 200 and we are said I'm say yes mpanimfoɔ se bɛma hwe ase a na nyɛ na wie ya no ayampa paa boy ɛwɔ Wolves ɛwɔ Premier League ne mu ɔbɛka saa sɛm ɔnya deɛ onimbɔ no bɔ agorɔ ɔmɛfa no kwaeɛ na deɛ aka no nyinaa no ɛnsom ɛyɛ history ɛne ɔno nko a na Ecuador akwadaa no ɛfa no saa ɛyɛ William Pacho wɔno nsom agye Man of the Match award ɛnora ɛnsom abɔ no game number 100 ɛde ama ɛyɛ Paris Saint-Germain na no yɛ no ɔba nanso ɔba yɛ game number 100 wotumi so ɔno ɛnsom asmente ne position ɛwɔ Paris Saint-Germain akyerɛ hɔ na ebi akɔm ɛne wo da sɛ kɔm adɔ da na wonya adwuma a womfa adwuma ni agorɔkora also ɔno ɛnom Wasis Caicedo ɔmomienu nyinaa no na ɔmobɔ nkwadaa team baako ɛwɔ Ecuador na ɛkɔm Caicedo kora deɛ ɔbɛka kyɛw sɛ ne maame ma no wɔtɔ so maako 11th ɔno so kora na ɛketewa wɔno na ɛsɛ referenti Brighton fue mepɔmakyɛw Chelsea na aba no munya me ma menkɔ sika no wɔbi afrɛw enti sɛdeɛ nkwadaa no ɔma graduate ɛde afiri nkwadaa team aba mainstream Europe enti na ɔmo bɔbɔ no a wɔmo de ɔmo honam dua no ɔmo akomam ɛne ɔmo firi ɔmo kram ana kyɛ sɛ ɛbɔbɔ no because ɛkom ɛyɛ paa nti bɔɔ no ɔmo mfa nni agorɔ no wonder sɛ William Pacho wɔno nso ɛforo ɛyɛ stairs no ɛnso ɛrekɔ soro ɛwɔ ne game no mu a akwadaa no nso deɛ no yɛde ɛma ɛna no pɛ live ɛnso ɛwɔ show no so na ɛnoa nneɛma pii ɛkɔ so nneɛma deɛ mɔ na na ɛkɔ so ana anɔpɛ mede more excerpts ɛnso ɛbae wo a wonya time ɛmɔnita yɛ ntwumadeɛ wote pii na ɛmsa amanfoɔ se ɛmu ɔda because wontumi nkɔnya onipa baako a wɔnom abrɛ paa ɛyɛ Paris Saint-Germain wɔn president Sheikh Nasser Al-Khelaifi ɔbɛfa team yi ɛdeɛ na ɔmo nyɛyɛ wɔma yɛagye bi ɔso ɔmo yɛ Champions League yi ama ɔkyɛ sɛ ɛnɛ ɔmo de adwuma ma ɛyɛ coachi agoragorɔ wɔse momfa tumi no ɛma me wɔmo sɛ ɔpani yɛgyawo pama o yɛdeɛ ɔbɛsɛ woyɛ bia because yɛatry name anom atry ɔne Mbappe amfa yɛde Leo Messi bɛka ho anyɛ yɛ Ramos mu nyinaa by amfa sɛ sɛdeɛ yɛntɔ kɛseɛ biem because na katafoɔ no aka ma Nasser Al-Khelaifi ate sɛ sika no a dabi ɔmo yi kɔ abɔnten a ɔmo sɛ sika no sɛ wotu sika gu na mfasoɔ bi yɛmfiri so ma animonyam hyɛ bi yɛmfiri mu ma a ne sɛ bi yɛ sika no guda mu nti abɛbia na ɔmo to gu o wɔn ntɔm aboɔden saa biem mompɛ talent ɛwɔ France na momfa nyɛ adwuma ɛna wɔn nya the right coach ɛna wɔba yɛ wɔse sɛ Mbappe ɛwɔ hɔnom a ɔntumi nkontrol nneɛma nyinaa 100% ɛwɔ team no mu Mbappe brɛkyɛ bɛ defende wɔse meyɛ dadaba me defende da me mɛkyire ɛna wɔsɛ ne wɔbɛtena bench na wonua te bench baabi du baabi wɔma ne mmɔbɔ no nso wie ne yɛade no mu gya ne kwama ne kɔɛ na manager no na ɔpɛ so ɔkyɛ sɛ Mbappe koi wotumi control biara bi ɛwɔ club no mu ama kyɛ sɛ ne ɔnom ɛwɔ 100% ɛyɛ total control ɛwɔ player biara so wokae sɛ Mbappe kɔɔyɛ nanka Dembele ɛbɛ sɛ wɔtest ɛhwɛ sɛ ɔpani no ɔwɔ se a wɔtumi ka meka saa season no masa afei na Dembele ayɛ bobo wɔtena bench bɛɛ 4 matches bi toa so paa since then ana Dembele one looking back aboa wɔn a wɔde abɛgye Ballon d'Or mene wo kasa sɛsie wonim sɛ ɔma san hyɛ aseɛ de ba sɛ season a ɛgu so a yɛbɔ yi sɛ kɔbɛsɛ bia Dembele ɛsan gye ɛyɛ Champions League ne sene nanso abra Ballon d'Or no mo obia nsa hane wo kora nkɔnkɔto aba because ɛyɛ ɔno ane dea wode ama me player baako abɛtumi aka sɛ bi ɔno ɛyɛ outstanding ɛkyɛn Dembele ɛno ɛyɛ season a yɛgu so a yɛdi wo nkɔmmɔ yi ɛne sɛ bɔ sɛ bia Dembele san gye Ballon d'Or twice in a row there and yet just akwara no on one was ko and some man the here is Champions League no and no and some abasamba and to coach no the adwuma de why be pa I'm a president abona basori ya resak video bi na ye demo sesia no ba modian so de no eba me almost say discipline asema ye ka no wo de fa PG toto eye Madrid and hade we are two different teams and what Dembele about 60 something coach CPA Olobi anko bone hwene ana coach me ma she go ana bonom ye monuru ba bia na o se me shebi ka na me pe go ken ana ballon d'or na o yime afiri mu wan ka hwe ana okochi Bradley Bacola ana Bacola ba mu ye yifini afiri mu ba ma toto no nsa bese na no and Xabi Alonso kasa na bu ofu wo kolo ka room later o san bai e betena bench wo so crowd yo be kaya me be sa story way and Alonso no ye ni firi mu ana Rodrigo ana bai wo ya kasa toto no sa je say wo ja one just so body I dey free mum am say what difference na e wo mu no enti say na je na start here eye eba enketenkete wan so no a na fa escalate na chesa jinsemu enti sanyo mana manager na ye e wo bobo ko fa no so Paris Saint-Germain and a player BN ho albetimi de nsasenebo akasa commander position na Kvaratskhelia ekra na say wono so anya fine form no form last season pa na this season a do baby no so tena bench Emma Bradley Bacola started because also yan was I say magum complacency trimudabi and also call bench kura binti eba Chelsea Emma Chenesono eho and on your sorry getting the position at just will be etimi ball Emmanuel and to Sheikh Nasser Al-Khelaifi on coach no hey was say omo the best coach we are say ancha say onumasima wonka said your coach efa so manage aye players no said your coach no efa so ehwetim day to day aye club no omonyo ya said o say handle media chese bibia we are proud say na one Enrique and aye adwuma yenti opani dey fan say Sheikh Nasser Al-Khelaifi
back in the final, and as I said, he's really the best. I said the best, one of the best, if not the best decision. And I talked for the last 15 years to sign him, to be honest. Fantastic coach, the best coach in the world, but also as a person, amazing. And how the way he managed day to day, the players, everything, even with the media, and France is not easy sometimes, but he's fantastic. I know, so it's amazing. Honestly, it's proud to have him in the club here, the team, everybody creating big history of the club, and this is what we want. We have DNA, today, honestly, we approved and the players approved. They're not only football players, they are really warriors, and that's what I'm most proud of them. And here we go. Well, in Budapest, of course, it's amazing back-to-back in the final, and as I said, he's really the best.
That's right, Benano play live. I was showing us so I run so ball. I any coach, I boss one in the players, or say one more any just I footballers, no more warriors. I just I couldn't be a mukobi and and I want to say I'm so qua. I know I update about only some for Shasia. I too early, but Omu I find an home come on. Now can be gentle Lizarazu on your BMS. When you saw the piano player, I come call na Lizarazu no say you want to just say. And now you can say Paris Saint-Germain. Woman, your favorite. Our final anymore. And woman say Arsenal. Ekita the best defense. Our Champions League in the but I say Arsenal. Our defense, and you're solid. And to say the Paris Saint-Germain. One more offensive and some SCT at here. Arsenal defensively. So but and you be an defense, Ebet me saw Paris Saint-Germain. One more offensive and you far power. Just a fire panel, a bit me a son said Dembele Mutu Praga. No more Babia boy who couldn't fire who Kvaratskhelia no cheats ya so bought 1-2. A defenders be a seal. Not just when come and be an Arsenal Kodai, a bit me a son or a ho, and a sa question mark and Ewano, and the advantage of Kodiyama Paris Saint-Germain. Now, any easy match. Now, swinging at what do you pass Paris Saint-Germain? When we are superior to Arsenal. About attacker, and no, and I'm what did you pass? Paris Saint-Germain team. No, woman, some favorite tower, South Jamaica anymore. Now, compare and come on, some catch one person. Yasamba pay because sir coach Yabobola we now to me can pesa ebia nyoma by was I what did pass and sabi and a chinchim nyoma not just a manipulation be our koso not just interference be our koso kind of sana not just a European Clubs Association. One more president, I Nasser Al Khelaifi. Now, so Chessa, or no, another clubs in our Europe, as a rough finish row, and to be 50-50 Biana. Now, answer the El Cretiamo first leg, our Paris, rough Bam Osro, watch a penalty and Kwasan Quote, Etiamo, any day or Julia Passa, no, and Amanque and Fama Bamuchi, coach and can pay Yentia Company, our Brodin and Como.
Those inconsistencies you speak of, do your players then feel that they've been at the hard end of it tonight then?
No, I think we're able to respect the caliber of opposition we played against, but when the games are so tight, when the players are giving so much of their energy to achieve that goal, and overall when they do so well, at least if you lose and it's your own doing, only your own doing, then it is what it is. But it felt like there was a little bit of a hand in that game that just tilted it always to the wrong side for us, and takes nothing away from the quality of PSG. But if you look back at the phases, what am I supposed to say as well? It's.
Those inconsistencies you speak of, do your players then feel that they...
Not just a Bamunchi coach, and I'll tell you, Casa, one song, our post-match, then accepts M&A, and you say, Bia, or no, Paris Saint-Germain, for no woman in Bonn, and I send Probia, or ye be bat, Massa, idea being a bit me, I can't use or Penino, a corner panty, ye can you do baby grano, not just one summer, on can to us, or one summer, one can and shower because I don't know, I can't dead them. Okay, was Uzigi Zagam, just me, I'm a say, I'm a pa. And then I am many Jano Antonio Marcia. One of some other Cacrade bar archers and opening, yet ten and Tema, yet 10 for so our Jumelia so. Na report to me, so other such as Luis Enrique, essay. Unum sa Enra, Wabi Kobusan, sir, one church. Aya ne tactics emu ana wose dabi wono no onye na adwen krasa ne tactics wo be kyerem akyere obia Shadrack mama sa video na Paris Saint-Germain goalkeeper no Madrid Safanov unum sa obobo bia simu a na bon wa bo ensom okosro and to say yeah possible no foforo say be a game yeah be started say be a PSG and started and I say be a second half Paris Saint-Germain na starting game no na e be a Vitinha body component no area na control enye no but when the ball no crack come na goalkeeper no obobia na oboko aye bamunchen wo mo emom enifa so babia yana Michael Olise all pretty every the bano hona goalkeeper no table kobu no ba na control same nyina no say aye plan work a manager Enrique de ball no bra coach ebi mo adrechiro because o hwe ball dia obakaya almost started ball na Nuno Mendes edi yellow card afei na chese Michael Olise enya ball biana na Fabian Ruiz edi America ba no ba show the boy the said be a unu yankodi red card enti nyoma no nyina no unu asua adwuma no eye onto obobɔ no control sana na ma ba bia Michael Olise oprati afri no ɛwonom aye condensed na sa won aba peso ho aye bebre enti abasa na wontimi bɔbɔ no said Olise no ensom esipena no ka ho ena ma enwa Olise entimi oprati said ono som esipena ntabe bia no nipa na sa side o ma eno ye chese strategy a manager no some at the ball no madru baby we bon say bia chese Luis Diaz enya ball na woni Marquinhos no ma chira castle bra that's Marquinhos level 2 eso no na level 2 nra eno chese onua ni madwuma bruta sanu ma no nyina no ana coach no say Rono woma kire obia mu ana akwa fast ma because onyamo Champions League ni nwie nyame ya no final on Arsenal ana bebo ana omobusa no say Premier League teams in the said this season crano what Liverpool share Chelsea ne Tottenham no ne adabo bia na anyabia no ne Arsenal another Premier League side. E say na what done Premier League ni Farmers League last season she Man City, she Liverpool, Aston Villa, she Arsenal. Just this season the Chelsea no omo kan nyina so na anyabia no final no wo de tie so obo Arsenal team na ba so yentie coach.
You have already faced 4 Premier League teams in the Champions League this season: Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle, Spurs, and you haven't lost. And it's another one in the final. You face Arsenal. I think you quite like playing Premier League teams, Luis.
It's going to be different in a final. But anyway, Mikel Arteta, they did it great, and they deserve to go through the final. They are doing, they have been performing the whole season at a high level. They were unbelievable during the whole season, but it's a final. They want to win it. I think it's going to be they are first, and we want to continue with making history in Paris, and to making history we need to win the second one in a row.
You have already faced 4 Premier League teams in the Champions League.
So making history there. Not just a second in a row. I was second be Arsenal. One J and our first now walk on about so just Arsenal transfer the first title. No one also J were branding in any and come out with many Janity and Amwa. One say Paris Saint-Germain team no and a woman to defend defending and wow Shabia. Coach and say woman no ebia no na no person be yo but or say omo used to defending and no musu woman no be omo person ya bona ya yire kire pampe ya biem bom ye mo but anwa so omo ka so be defend ya wo say no omo defend to say angels woman defend to say soro abofo masa anwa to say tokuro na ba bia na ba mu chimfo yi enso the boy afa e dia corner desire due akoda no say obi eno no bedru final abana adwense okobon keke omo peso omo anyase bia omo ko defend omo title wo so omo beche o ka so be defend title dia and say dia say bia wo yire ho na bia penalties bi na o de age omo ba so omo be wini eno aye desire do dia wono some adia ba na ro pe no ye de ema ye che for mama yakoda bi na wono free Vietnam aba bebao womo training grounds awo Lezama na akwara no oye young boy oni ada say o say aye Nico Williams entina wo free aye Vietnam aba aye Lezama na obeso onya unia signature no so bobo te say onu Nico Williams na to training grounds ana Shiringito wo mun yakwara dinko Vietnam yakwara no wo sa aye brofo kakra yenkoni nti akwara no nkoma wodina later when you crying any Nico Williams and some are you finding the common kakra yellow said and you must call some may come and say I could only free Vietnam and a bar so free Vietnam. I'm going over there. I'm going Vietnam Yakarana just one over Sadiana Sano and Tiaquano. The does when you bam our share Nico Williams some day one was watching for you one and a broad penny and no a young coming in you for you and one sir Ryan Vallecano Everton historic night no more boss Strasbourg our way na shano akwari asanfa video no bra omo hotel ni anadwo no na bo eye 2 pounds manum 85 minutes after 2 a.m. hotel la Ryan Vallecano womu players and a technical team kodaye ana eye Strasbourg supporters na say mamuda no munya hoden kwa de bobo na nkia kwa mo be jibia gumo pa na knockout titao tau just a prom totom sanyo mani nyina no and almost some blasting your mouth ya update bana dia me hu ya na me friend say wonim sa Ryan Vallecano wo team no enra omu tu so mo ko aye France no players no ene omobusuafo ene centralfo enyina na kabo mu a wo fu the same flight normally Clam never flight to call. Maybe our girlfriend be or wife and then Quadano, maybe our mammy no papa or bra penny sisters be maybe our fast for me baby. Woman so for different flight and the about Thomas say, woman was saying Quadana enjoy some moment and to know woman day Abusha phoning in our Friday same flight and I just woman on border. Woman some about and no one say be a tree. Woman bet me our cause problems our France and Montessoa. Yet then in an Emma yet Fernando Pena. I let you come Madrid. omo training na kwaso no Julian Alvarez anya training na yes Atletico for say omo person be rushing crowd because na ne ho nton no rekobo Arsenal and the plan san kan ho enti ene omo man training wo prepare akwakobo Celta Vigo again but omo so omo ba kwada no ban na latest free omo so de ban say Julian Alvarez na Barca fonia bread and kabea monfuma tension and control Pedro no so na monpa mo plan bi but Atletico for us so much as and omo plans for next season wo mo de akwada na ahyem Oma factor Alvarez wobi anka so pamo akwada na obi anso nka so oton ana obi anso nka so hieska enti ene awase yeton ni enyeska mo Barca na wose mo ton no mo ransi around 100 million euros adequate transfer market na mom enyo mo Atletico anti boy ni de nyame yadoma next season according to club no wo mo say akwada ni be stay na wakoso abon board yama boboku a ye fan sa Atletico me no kasai wonim so dru Benfica yes Benfica campaign for Nigeria Barca Jose oko na besine Jose ampa onya extended a contract Emma Benfica until obako na mo na kraka na kwaye so mo wogiri say Real Madrid adwuma no wono ana mo de be ma no ntia nei wo mo fu se bia Jose amsa kwan bia so no wono Madrid ana be ye adwuma no na ye kan wonim say Mbappe amsa golden boot our Champions League dia obaje because 15 goals obi anya nyuro ho gise bia kwara skill ya mo she 5 goals against Arsenal ansa na bia golden boot aba be je bia 6 goals but Harry Kane efrimu enwa oko 14 enti say Mbappe na yeso onya de akwa still now no Champions League aye golden boot ono and a budget top scorer all things being equal no sana de no ensom na be say Mbappe no pay eba vadebas na medical test no make trust so be ne na obabe ye twen say bia training obetimi adwane wan join dia na cheso mu game na bia Mbappe no obe start at the free bench our classic no mo David Alaba enso be call because Alaba no Madrid for this work when we save a salary wage bill no emsa so ebe clear kakra because Alaba in the first season we bought more than 4,000 minutes last season Alaba ball Wontumi more 600 minutes and this season we knew 400 minutes but what and there be our jiska and then we pra Adicha wa plenty Madrid for say womu jane kwan but the men say can say Alaba eyo bia Juve womu team no womu som anya breye pass womu nya player na womu so nya kwada na ebeya djuma me no ka say Penis Zahavi eba Barcelona enra ena no probably room our studios no na me so ono ene ho Laporta ekoye meeting na ni nyina na ye nyoma me no Robert Lewandowski ya ka cho so ompo ombejane kwan wobekọ eno ye 1-2 aya Hansi Flick awaso wa the contract Adama Barcelona and also account 2 ni nyina na yankoma opani for sala Porta enya fra konya na some say no kase no wonom ada so dini dwumadi Adama club na eno aye update ba ho sam ni nyina no ye de for Arsenal yes manager na be so che say this summer on beja place ni bi kwan pa na ba bia Arsenal adru no wo muntimi nsan koma chibiem because so wo build the free from aba obere pa and Arsenal atete timi abroad ya maba drew esoro ho a so mo sustain o mo level na fei wo mo maintain ba bi o ma drew serebe a abebi o ma compete no ntino wo mo betwa dead rules ni nyina agu no ma tobi aba be gun by Kai Havertz de yes coach ne simo bi amfa nsanka no Kai Havertz and kanu ni benya pa oni o de so akoka Kai Havertz sawo tonu a woni Mikel Arteta monya iti make us Arteta contract no de aye dan a won some other side bat de wom and de mensa kan nyina no say Arsenal players qualify for aye final omukọ ne ya kan say aye final dressing room no woni say oman kasa kra dintia make us oman kasa enso say yes manager ne buy no manager no ene obi ene nkoba onsan ka wo game wi a coach ba no aba waba be kasa mo ho ne ade abate se coach no wan ka hwe because se de o mani esi agye no bibia kra no ma wo ka e be konkwada ne tirim en terms Atenta anka asem bia eno aye de free o maso de be ena no pay e wo hwo no so na Arsenal de MCS do do ani sound wo so ntakrache memory fan so post course obekai me am be story some weeks ago am post course e be cause Arsenal hi enye fe born nye nai enye so the only attire in the overna ana post course say baby ojina no one ojina one can say bia moji amunjio Premier League the moji amaje but anya fe ono onso ni TV da on time so TV so be Arsenal ball many we be about the league went to me and Liverpool went to me and Man City almost the ajutum say for the past baby about 10 years in here woman are running our Premier League anymore hi anya fe born in into post course.
Of course you can. They've not been. I just don't think they're the best of champions that we'll ever see. I don't think we'll talk about this team in years to come. But it takes a bit of time to get there. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I remember when City were coming. I always remember you saying City coming. When they're finishing second, third, fourth in the league, I always think they don't always have to beat the top teams. Do you? Don't. They've not beat City. They've not beat Liverpool. These have been the best teams for the last 4, 5, 6 years, and that's why I don't think teams will speak about them about being a great team. Now look, I know you can get away with not winning those games. Of course you can, but I think to be a great team, you've got to go and beat these teams. My point was, I don't enjoy watching it. They're not a team that I think, fucking hell, brilliant team. Where I've sat back over the years, and even Liverpool last year, under Jurgen Klopp, you're like, fucking hell, what a good team. I just don't see that with Arsenal. That's the only thing. Look, you can win it all different ways. Of course you can. It doesn't matter how you win it.
And so the by not just say how do you Premier League just to the Arsenal baby ano now me to say Sir Dave Brailsford my former sporting director and I say director no Brailsford say juma no I to say omaji efrin nsem enyo no na ye juma no biem ana Xabi Alonso so no so pe to me na PSG e de ama eye Luis Enrique no ono Xabi Alonso so pe the same par ewo Chelsea nyasa adwuma no de ebe den eba no try yesem komo no madina no nko na aka say to ball ne bedada ball mo beja tum so okay opani ye jaw pama ye de opɛ yesem no nko na otimi ya hodi ara che say no anso eno no wo na bibia ye okay de okay anti ye behwe na afi ya ba be say no nso esitie Arsenal anya qualify nti eno nsem no and so no yemra so ye din komo wia na ya samba ye screen ne so na ye de video analyst ayenioma meza bibia find it ya nyame adom na so e radio adom da so oh yeah be NSF for ne dom ho abete they say wo boss me boss say say wo position you say oh you do azobo sa okay, so me nyame na me coach. Mike say bibia find there. Fancy nyame adom bibia. Me nyame na me coach. Coach for me no see ara. Me kan ubi. Wo mo na yo team yo selection. Ele se for bobo baba ya ra o chena mo ne. What the camera ya to me. Wo pese me ye. What the camera na to me. En say she coach wo. O pese me ye dey. Na me na me ka opese dem pan opese boy obviously omo team dey on those days and the original council team dey ade to whom you disappointed footballers now hold on the original council for disappointed team never won boy it also go queen be massa Pep Guardiola Barcelona cry e show mo na jai team bie aduro dey say dey o matu aduro dey o maibi team bie ni asase so ayentimi aduro dey o maibi team bie ni asase so abaka so lose game e dey asinto won ho professional football no kro mo bokra no en kro asinto won na enyo mo bobo 30 minutes every week say NSC e di e de bobo say pe di e de bobo NSC ade I say nkwada aduane no ezizo mo frey ampofo anka nkwada ne aduane na e fe say SMA ne de inkolak ne we no say na NSC so akoye NSA edi e de bobo nkwada aduane wa he de o maye match day nkwada aduane ye be bo mo say nkwada team no we Monfan Wontumi Sports National Sports Authority. Omuni authority bia wo park today no Friday no omo authority ni na beira. Me na me catch authority no omo so omo wo no. It will vanish on Friday
time yes and 4 p.m.
Puma ne botu. Na Puma dey say guy no ba be.
We are born me bobi.
Puma dey say guy no ba twitwu
to 4 junior na botu. We are born me bobi.
To 4 den kramom so make kan say metene kan me nan.
Also when o metene kan o now.
Me nan.
We
oh my god,
me say omo authority no e be extend from now 4 p.m. ne bo ken.
Hey, tactical coach now.
Na NSC authority no will vanish from
coach and assistant coach.
So who's the Caribs too?
Now, o ma be careful yes sure mo we are be reshuffle. It omo ba be ye adwuma no wa ani akoye adwuma no for 1 day.
Ko bo ya chia percentage.
Yes. Yeah, but team now for NSC. Oh, munya nkomo we munya.
Oh, you always see. Why?
Na kuku da mo mujina mo na so kro mo bubu ahwe. Na sebe. Oh, chai. F. Now, one team wa the coach is excellent ejida touch line da.
Mo ni majuma o. F. We dey Liam Rossini out.
Masa, ade nia.
O kan lesson na.
We pro level na so masa.
Wo, yenye na afi, ye brother. Nyame armatch na 4 p.m. ne NSC4 baba.
Me say omo be guanin. Ye NSC4 no. Ya ba hye wo omo be guani. Omo be guani. Omo be guani if you park na.
O yo be center is around we team. Wa
omo be guani.
Wo, yemre na afi ni nkomo say on the 30th, Paris Saint-Germain against Arsenal. Meza.
It is all set and done. And I think for Paris Saint-Germain, a day, they will look back at it and be very proud of the kind of job they've done. Especially, Oshebe be a club ni Friba and in Pempenso Modia Babedri and establishing themselves as the top team in Europe. Yow, Adibia Paris Saint-Germain I want us to really look at it from different angles. The first one might definitely be about the footballing aspect of it, which to me, I think it's the entire the ball not to so money per 11 waging high boni in actually say at the end of the day will bring a trophy DSU now. Then there is more to the Paris Saint-Germain story than what they have achieved, which even makes it much more beautiful and honorary for somebody like Nasser El Khelaïfi. Yow, Paris Saint-Germain became the laughing stock of world football at a point in time. You see, no matter how much money they had us at that time, ana omutimi ye de omu fi so omu pebia ne kwa omu boferu omu bia no ombe laughing stock, because the top European football administrators look at them and they start asking questions. They say, "Na ka se born na ye be no ba no abetu scale gum no abenya success na de kwa na can you buy it?" You see, this is one particular thing that they've proven beyond reasonable doubt to say yaw. Success no omato bi no omato no so omato ni ye. The bia Paris Saint-Germain aye wo France obi omo dia ba Europe nyina nobody can tell me say they've not spent money. You see, Makongu the story and Nasser El Khelaïfi said they are not interested in flashy and bling things and buying big players. But yeah, there's a difference between Oka say auto star player on Nuwodi and it's all spending an amount of money on somebody that fits your profile. Whether plan A or plan B, it all involves money. It artist car or koto obiti say Kivicha Kraskelia when Tres come from Anapoliana. Yeah, also Tres car na meboa. Okofa Dembele beba oma Dembele contract we will be found free Barcelona o Tres car na when Tres car.
Yes.
So a lot of these players on mobile game them Paris Saint-Germain, they paid an amount of money to bring them to the club. It is just more or less that they've been able to do a squad. It is not factored on individual ability, but a team effort to get them the results. I don't know my no Omababe surpass whatever UAE, any Dubai, any more my Manchester City, the Ababesia, yaw or Massa passes Adiano. The ATM knew this sound common so Massa passes Adiani say yaw. And they were more trouble no margin the following season, Massa could there are few clubs that do this. In terms of playing Champions League back-to-back finals, few clubs. Ubetima her team beat Manchester United. Ubetimi ahwe obi te say AC Milan at a point in time. Ubetimi aba behwe obi te say FC Barcelona. There be Barcelona crown more Champions League final to also back to back because omuji 2006 omo final BM to 2009. Omo bori 2010 omo final. Omo bori 2011 omo final. Omo final ni BM till 2014 2015 and omo final. So it is not an easy feat since SSR dealing from 1992 1993. Eben UEFA Champions League say ubenya team bia yaw yabo Champions League back to back na yaw on the final. Manchester United nebe be 2007 2008 2008 2009 and obo sa final back to back. Real Madrid yet was so 3 1 2 3. So it is not something easy even if the other clubs that have done it and you be brave to say the idea for so bitimi which means whatever they've done now is special. Whatever PSG, I know, is special. I think we are up for a special final between two special teams that qualify through two special moments. For Arsenal, 20 years, special. For Paris Saint-Germain, the second time in the second year, we qualified about the final of the Champions League, special. And you look at the game of my boy, and they approach and a lot of things are. Baso say, oh, team where they won, you see, project and how they do it. And I think say yen team komo we say din kakra bi then I'll come back to a certain story. You see, na say Kalafi ebe Paris Saint-Germain president katafo ni na atena se hunu say there be we ni emfa kro ni hyebere ni na mfa nhye den sem because on na betimi aye ball no. Yeah. So initially na clubs or more part of the crown na Paris Saint-Germain was not in context in terms of teams o menyo moto mo. But omo check the big leagues now. Some of these top clubs within these leagues, it's very difficult to have somebody from the Middle East coming straight to know about the top because there's a certain perception and morality police around it. Now, the rise of Nasser Khelaïfi, Obepiem Paris Saint-Germain, and I want issues the say Boba, and why you say, and I would nipa kosheha, and I will more support terrorism. It may be Obeko meeting behind. There was a point in time, Omoko UEFA meeting, Krana, Obichiana Krana, Sonia Crotch, and Hodigun also. So the turning point for him in terms of showing we access obetima yebibi Neymar dos Santos Jr. issue no. Say omu decided say omu sign check 222 million euros. They to La Liga office say omu first can fanko. Then started changing the perception around him. Say hey na akoya wa be ya katafo na be say na near densa. Because ko ni kuro mu hono ma na the mayor of Qatar and the prime minister and penifo mu nyina na nya issue say asa de na ya slow and picking them. The man is about from Crown and Kaya Basani as a city picking Temja Omo because a moon is a Premier League in Muadin. A Muadin city a Timia project under UAE for no at Timia fast Abaji the Premier League. At the Tiasa Alex Ferguson and your Pep Guardiola Diano. Then the appointment of Pep Guardiola so common because someone say, we want the best in class, we want this, want that. But your coach say Akakunyo Money the city swenya. So on the geopolitical view in terms of the Middle East countries. Omudu omu beru abom no omu ni say ye bantem nenso ni aka akiri na wona say Khelaïfi na ahihye akiri iti akoya nim guase wo ha akoya nim guase wo ha but he picked up the pieces and one moment changed the beautiful story of whatever happened. And I think the introduction or whoever advised him to bring in Luis Enrique and the issue was mientien komoni ne ye pa ko mo fa so ko fa Luis Enrique de buy. The truth is they had already spoken to Luis Campos about 2 or 3 years before. Tamano Monaco. But now Luis Campos and Peso Betun in Nemudi Aquaco Pimu in the club because he felt that is a project out here something realistic than an himself bar. And from confirm the Shame Consi and Koto player 300 million being confirmed. So they asked Luis Campos to say on Tenassi, on drafted something for them. They want to change their approach, they want to change everything about their club. The first point of somebody who has been successful in life is to realize and recognize a mistake at some point. Yeah. It's a failure. I wasn't a picky few. So PSG realized it, and the campus sat down with them. They discussed a lot of things. And he told them, he said, no, giddy baby, any other didn't name Mbappe, I offer way 190. Me, Monaco, you want to do my it's Yemfa plan A, plan B, plan C. Coach is Ben available. Yan share the Luis Enrique aye. Or the mother share your pie Luis Enrique Juma or ye with Spain. Okay, or bar for catching Spain for and say, or more money na Sergio Ramos, one is our boys in our own pelmo. Raising issues with Spain, say, or more than why a bass and into our own Madrid for near. I can't say Cavaya, Monis, our boys, no more national team, no money, no, the Ombeton chain. No Montiasie, because Spain needed something, a revolution. Then he comes into the picture, and we're being introduced Pedri and Gavi in the national team. And I think for the Nations League in that year, they were superb. And Obiaba was, hey, where the Bassa for Yankofomia Nubia in the long term on Bayer Juma, they are more. No, be a come as the beautiful football that they played. And Paris Saint-Germain realized, okay, then that is fine. We're better to lead a certain revolution because we know the Neba. Then Campos sat down, they discussed with him and they brought him in. And look at how far they've come. Straight. We contract an extension. No? So kasa onya, I show the private jet ba be see France or be fan de nako. Because animonyam sha or their bread team no ne kata
the contract no why we.
You see, ska obenya won Chinese ska obenya won no. And let's not forget that these people were begging Mbappe to stay.
Yeah.
And the flight be find Mbappe de ne ko. No man be find Mbappe mame. Okay, you feed them na yes our story ne say. O man be find Mbappe mame. E de ne ko ho.
As a president no cry no Emmanuel Macron now so on player ne Casamane stay.
Emmanuel stay because the French league no. But when Monyam Sha and Luis Enrique Abba, only Luis Campos, and the Ababeshi team. No. I asked myself, how did they sign Kivicha Kvaratskhelia?
Quick because almost from January.
Then you look at somebody like Pacho, Frankfurt. So she almost scouting on my end in recent times. You know. Vitinha was literally a flop in Wolverhampton Wanderers, but he was splendid with FC Porto. Then they go to Porto and they say, okay, fine, let's pick him and bring him along. Then there's Fabian Ruiz. On also Napoli, Obekaya. On also Akofana de Naba. Jean Neves, look at the amount of money they pay to Benfica. It was Benfica. The first season of Bowie. Among when you say transfers and any Juma, but the Juma. And I'm telling you, say, if they decide to sell most of their players, or more bench, can you tell me some more Tom Bacola or Munya 60 million pounds? That is a mark of how you do business and a good team.
Because Mayulo also cross our bench.
Yes.
Drew. Imagine
if you want to sell some of these players, the amount of money. Lee can you some more toner, they can generate money. Zaire Emery, some more toners is here, they will generate money. Lucas Hernandez, and then what one saying when level club, and the prototype of whatever they have done, me can't say we say, and you obia never can be so be. Meaning some man for Besha say, and a clubs being go for the same route. Is it unyakata? Yaw, and I'm certain you know when you pay. Said ye Arsenal fast so they are successful. No? Give it to a different club, they will fail. Said ye Chelsea is successful and Roman Abramovich, you know. Yaw, give it to a different person and they'll fail. I've seen people likening the PSG project saying come on for the same thing in Real Madrid. No! Yaw. Obiane the way an success story city and confess so did ye. Meaning said the idea chase you the anymore and also. But Obiane the story and how beautiful it is. It's just about recognizing your niche and sticking to it. Near Juma the amount. I say Brabo will recognize it the old tongue bebo because a nay central market and any papa for an nipa 10 will be a tongue to mamma ye. Obi kwan to man obetena se the whole day and ton fama no. Obi so be into man obeko beto 20 the amano. But the nipa na yen ton man no on recognizing the nature e bia na nature e bia so beton lazy. Me no wo kase ne bia wa smart no akotogo. O makofa lazy aba ya obeba na nipa gudu so say. So it's about recognizing where your club came from, what you can do, an identity that you can be able to be honest with yourself and stick to it, and a bit more successful. It's a brilliant story for Paris Saint-Germain and where they've come from, but not everybody can be like them. Yeah, Oma build the team na do baby a. Omo kai me Barcelona team of 2009 to 2011. Not in terms of quality and in terms of style of play, because there's nobody in this world that can fit in the profile and the quality of Lionel Messi. Ono kwa ya demo ya obi antimi mo no. Nemum the team we say ne ben ho ye omo ability. So omo de benya results and get results over the line. You see, obi edi nkomo mo so Paris Saint-Germain de ne chefo. Untie sa nkomo no. Omo weakness. The same thing on Obi Akafa Barcelona 2009 to 2011 team no. Oh, we mu dey say no aso abomo kanta Tavares nyade. Esu be hia na wie no ahye. The Real Madrid team omo triple T Champions League. Oh, be say Real Madrid team we dey omo nyade because omo defend no mabo kanta. But o hia na ahye na me hwe. So e ho na Paris Saint-Germain abegina. That is where the club is now. So they might have genuine weaknesses within the setup. Obianka so many weakness. Obianka so many avatar. There be a more genuine weakness. By your issue near say, Ubetimi Asho mana. You have about 90 minutes now. You know what Timmy Asho because Enra by many Bibia said they have weaknesses. They created chances. But ask yourself at the end of the day, Omutimi Asho. Chelsea ni Basa na we buffer Ebetimi Asho Man U ni Basa Ebetimi Asho you na Ferguson in Regam na nsepo. Sanity. When it is your time, nothing can change it. Omo picky. This is not difficult to even argue. This is a team, the most peak team in Europe. Omo picky to a certain level. We are moving biana. Omo shebre. They are drusuno. They are enjoying their moment. Allow them. And the ability to adapt to every situation. I don't know how be ma kamune by many kebesa goes. Omo say there be enya go ne early. Now we be try say o pese wo share by many kwa mienu ne fa so one target far post, two in between the center backs. Now look at baby Akivicha Kwaskele pick a pass no the movement no in between the two center backs.
And now we
the far post.
Machiwa boy in front us ball I started 2 minutes upemekano e kwa America kro ntimi.
Say pass no oboto baby a Conroy Lama mo wona o metimi the pace akoje. Nti obo pass no diagonal you know they are total.
But I'm saying say you move on 10 minutes you more 20 minutes.
No, because they've studied the team.
Say Sharak Mobame go now. Just watch Upamecano.
Yeah, this season.
In America, as will be our Bobe 75 minutes.
And do you know what they know? They know that this Bayern Munich team. You see, Bayern Munich team we ankasa this season. Meaning so I realize yeah, almost time concede goals in temper. Even in the Bundesliga, I don't know if you've realized it. Almost time concede first pa no mabetete. So and even the first leg no moboti PSG no. I think Bayern Munich conceded first.
Look.
Or ball pass not to me in them.
Then
the far post. Who is guiding the far post? What is that?
Finish about 2 minutes. Equal 10 minutes.
On my identify her come fast to ye Lima didn't free game. Never be a Kivicha Kwaskele in between the two center backs. Tani open mechanic ye the pass in the better or movie view. And your monko. And your monko. This is a team that knows what they are doing. Bayern Munich concede goals this season. They concede first. No be abetino ameshe, but a splendid performance from Paris Saint-Germain, especially from the defensive point of view. I think for them, yesterday, was one day they needed to sacrifice a lot and put their body over the line, and they needed somebody like William Pacho to step up. And I think for the results and whatever they did yesterday, they'll be proud of themselves of how far they've come. And we tell Luis Enrique Dia also the best team in Europe. So over the two-legged affair, one and a bar was so beshi. Because this is a team, they are dynamic, they are proactive, and they are almost they are adaptive in every single set of situation. They have wingers that can isolate you in 1v1 situations and deal with you. No more absolutely clinical finishes that could get into the box. It's like more that you have to 2 or more PSG will calm down at a point in time. But
true.
So make the most of your time when you have it. They are doing that. I think City and Guardiola within 3 years final 2 over Kaya. Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel team they share Inter Milan. But when they not stick it to a certain terrain, they know as a Champions League in a bonus. And the group stage now see about Champions League group stage now. I don't know. They've picked. They've picked parts.
Group stages and some show for the because as I feed the PSG.
There be season or among say season year month August, season year month October, and a season year month December, season year month February. Any match, And Osman Dembele now man realize say on more than 10 La Liga Ligue 1 games. Osman Dembele more than 10 Ligue 1 games. And he comes into the team and Wababe create this particular opportunity for them. It's a final to experience, it's a final to watch. But I think this is a story that tells us that consistency and failure are two things that correlate. You can change, be consistent, and you get your results.
Mate.
That means it will be a shebre.
All right.
The same thing.
Okay. Well, me da say yemra na fi yemra yen screen so Newton area Mike ewa Mike ebebana ya to so ede free ho. Real quick na or say but also be say final na be to say Bamunchin and Chelsea 2012 Bayern Bebo born in na be we are see Chelsea J we Professor J I say the final is a replica of Bayern versus Chelsea in 2012. Arsenal will win. And no, any dear.
I said, when you bought, Master, you almost oh, David, you oh, David, some of my cousins, the CPA tribunal. And I was saying, oh, we would
okay.
Or more the same line, not in terms of trophies, the same line of form. They said Barcelona 2009 to 2011, Real Madrid repeat team, and Man United 2008 to 2011.
Okay.
In the goal load, I expect a Bermuno Crano, and yet those goals in Nano and a Bermu. But the end of the day, no Paris Saint-Germain are qualified call another final. Congratulations to them, Mama. I perform so. So two Spanish managers and Moko final. We keep saying, say, coach, you know, what's me sorry from any different angle. No, about a very good coach. But for Luis Enrique, any Spanish coaches, they love the invention. Coaching invention. I dear no be a successful. I dear no be a successful. But means so. Dear make to me a year. Every man I strong come from just the ordinary. I'll be taking you through the screen. But Shadrach and Mame, Paris Saint-Germain, how I now more started or more throwing no. I would want to talk about that because now my screen no ain't me and far the JP general. So besides Shadrach and Adam Mame was screen we say so.
Okay.
Why a coach would restart a game from a dead moment? No one kick ball and so they could throw in. Quickly, what they do, they say, Matvey Savanov, but decided so they send a long kick into the half of Bayern team. I'm sure I Shadrach more. May say time. But let me speak to the screen. Company there and Louis before the game, no, let me catch or say, best schooling company. Of my company affiliate the stage in our juice, no. Say and find mediocrity in a tremoha. You really need to do up something. So game in a question, I said, say company, how do you even come back? Oba koso say what attack fu. Or listen more attacking speed and now you need from buying team no munya ball 1 2 3 passes. Yo, na unhuni nyinasa. The Safan of Matvey, goalkeeper for Paris Saint-Germain. Whenever there's a goal kick, a restart. Boko throw intentionally. Now it's me Danny attack the bomb then they go. But of course, the purpose of that kick in the say on Barry started ball no Paris Saint-Germain and I said by better started throwing half. But what check here the detail as how we bomb no corner. I want Michael Olise that. So by the time I to throw, naturally every good team want to throw how you look out for Olise, hold it here. Uncle the chicken to maybe or to throw. So watch this. When the purpose in here to throw the call, effectively Paris Saint-Germain, our best player, Olise, on the right side. Buying. On best player Olise on the right side. Our inverted the corner left. So Oboko throwing now before Olise major ball on the now. Now a form one will deep. It's a deep pressure section halfway line. So I want Olise for one. Yow, aha, over 10 years back of face keeper. No, it won't be creating anything meaningful out of this. Continuously, Paris Saint-Germain. Deploy tactics we see. And Bobo no come by Olise no. It will be to Olise first option back pass or about forced dribbling or take on. Now my Ajibori the friend him. This is pure invention. Hardly do we see this. Even Bono Boko side or also press on. Paris Saint-Germain and Louis Enrique and Yehumi. And as I've said it, I love inventions. We ye do be achieve why and your bonnet, but so also to be invented. Not a babeka. Ticket I can now honor da. But Pep Guardiola because extreme. I feel Louis Enrique, yes, Edgeman. And talking about Louis Enrique, system at 2 coaches, and I said information already called game, yeah, and then that was screen, Jonathan Ta, a partner of Pamicano, make come on, commodity show. No, Joseph Stanisic, of course, Lima, about completely the fullback position in a 4-2-3-1. Kimmich and a Pavlovich and a ball, double pivot. Luis Diaz, Michael Olise, Jamal Musiala, quality attacking trio, and a more ball behind Hurricane. Yow. This formation has a lot of flexibility and fluidity in the final third because I bet me are converting into 4-3-3 with the movement of Jamal Musiala or the 2-1. No, Jad Diaz, Kane, and then Olise up top.
Okay.
And I bet me are a typical 4-2-4, full attacking gear where they leave Pavlovich and then Kimmich behind. Now 4 now by Diaz, Musiala, Olise, and Hurricane. So naturally they have 4 attackers in the midfield, but don't forget, say, bind by culture, a pushy fullbacks, and also to be joined. So at some point in the game, you can have about 6 attackers. That is when Diaz, Olise, engage box on alongside Hurricane. Then China channels no be empty no. While just Stanisic and Lima no be engage. And from PSG and Louis Enrique, this is a natural formation for them. Typical 4-3-3. What's say different from we? Now, when 4-3-3 no, a bit confusing because of Fabian Ruiz in the rule. No, Fabian Ruiz rule no, on board more offensive, on board protecting a lateral no, and resign to some extent. Utimi so Bahab Mendes. So the rule are not all your field necessary. A quite be a better fullbacks in the Fabian Ruiz and yes, Edgeman for Momo. This job no, a number 84 at time. Michael Essien also table 2. Yes. Thomas Partey also table 2.
Yeah,
it has been them. Always Valverde so also it is about 2. That's the point. So Fabian Ruiz augment those rules and we have you have something
because I know after say Mendes the yellow card and I was like one who be the red and them and one of me who say every time Biana or Lise Benya born piano there comes Fabian Ruiz. I don't know they can be tackling so now Mendes now free.
You are so on point here. You are so on point. You have Neves, Vitinha, Ruiz, Due, Dembele, Kvara in the final third. Yeah, game we say our 2 of the best free wingers in the game. Arguably, you have Olise, you have Kvara on the field. When you do the meet me chomo, but me afraid yeah, me be alamin. And the Babacam yeah. Formations, systems are always what you see during the course of the game because football is a practical game. Now, air course on I'm saying you really light on your fan to Alliance Arena. Yeah, we say no nana ken kind. I saw the man. I want you to share this with me. Alliance Arena for the way by Bana we say. Now, me should ideally make it in a bad team originally. Me should game now. I had make in mind.
Bana ra.
And I'm the ballet now. Make boost out once. I want you to share this with me.
Okay, so I'm Bana and normal the buy no. Almost say. We are going to Budapest and sending you to St. Helena. Na a reminder, Mike Wahai. St. Helena, no. Almost say St. Helena is known for being the location of the second period of exile of Napoleon from the defeat at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815.
Into how the Paris Saint-Germain.
I must say, Omum do more coffin and no Paris Saint-Germain because St. Helena. Aha, auntie. I don't know that we say no. So
I so be a good Gugua, but area they will call. And on the other side has some of the Paris Saint Helena honor. Oh, I see. I saw some of these banners and I'm making the web and on a Panama discussion.
Born I won't qualify now, boy.
Yeah, Paris Saint-Germain no problem. I'll highlight that to you, but before that, you know. All the our boy we say tornado no opamikano so nim drip onim insulin ya di America insulin eguni moja mukra bra America ni video forget it
me bow like obi kra catch him say no Mike after 2 minutes untimi nkwa America
da bi oh ene ya hwe warm up no so warm up dey start naturally only pace and style no
I understand, but I'm just saying.
I mean, bre. Odi ya bre. Enye omre.
Samu.
Omre oni mirika tu.
Oh, okay.
Aha, omre. De kasa wasa, mirika wasa.
Not to me.
Otu we mirika onyade, onyade, nyeso abre, nyeso awe adwuma da bi onyade.
Ene me.
Wakafra. So, I didn't know. Earlier part of Coco Presse, PSG follow. And about to see what you, but how they got them, no? I dare see it is will be a gas and a high line, and a high line, and a high line. Yo, until so be can. They got the line broken into two. Because a line, the last line of defense, which is the original defensive structure, the second line of defense, which is the midfield, and the third line of defense, which is the attack. Originally, the attack was empty virtually in the final third. Attack now is a unstoppable because that's how Bayern has been structured. Say, attack we put two pressure kakra. I want to systematically take you there. So watch it, attacking in here. The attack is the first line of defense. 3 lines of defense, attack, midfield, and the defensive structure. They all rest on the line, defensive line. So attack in there, I'm not pressing without the ball. But virtually what you see here, it's empty. I'm not pressing, you see it. But it's not coordinated. First line, first line. Now you are thinking about the second line and then the third line. What's something? So last line in our dream, then systematically somebody has to press up top. So line watch I think a method na baby drew. Who method no? And who defense no? In between the method and the defense, Ousmane Dembele wa ha, PSG wa free. So the receivers for even this ball no is any time you don't want to sign Ousmane Dembele. But they have rehearsed this because when you say Ousmane, if you know how this is the second line, method in the and the last line I could goalkeeper in the naturally Sana ya next year. Midfield be late. But first line be content who's a mobile baby. Na be simochi. I didn't know bia the ball ni caught in China yaw. Or fan for put and or cut back.
Say omo say player be arriving.
And the defenders was back or shake keeper ni
because omo Kwaraskili go no Parc de France no. Or we are 2 players in the box each jai born man each because no say they are Kwara ebeba. That's
just a pattern. First of all, high line we had an I can want him. So we can't high line. So look, this is a midfielder. This is a midfielder. Yet omoye line man is Stanisic. Omoye the positions and your fullback positions. And your wide midfield and on was it. Okay. And the centre backs in occupy the central midfield position. So it's a high line. And the occupation of that channel, Favara and occupies space in Oha. Naturally, winger and the centre back. Look at the spaces. Winger and the centre back, or Kujano. Winger and the centre back. Now, refugee which one Ramos and I cover by Kujano. It has always been the case. Me problem, they say, 2 coaches in or my idea, me can't reclaim Mikel Arteta, but company they yaw. Next year, buying for me, we are in Romania. What do you about when we are? And now you show football, you can predict the patterns. Buying almost celebrity Bundesliga 3 successive seasons. They have in the last 10 years one of the best squads, even though unbalanced in my opinion. Defense on your Jumana said yes, so we know. Should defense and you. It been may take you back a crabby against Madrid. And then the defenders and the Biomani attackers in your face keeper no. You met 2 defenders will feed that every day only defend attackers never. Why? Where is the structure? It is only Vinicius not saying one. I want to about clean sheets now. Keeper no channel. And no. But the pattern still continues to remain. You face defenders no 1-on-1. The 1-on-1 no there be keepers in your face 1-on-1. Upamecano the bia uche sinipa. Omo nyade. Buying defense in nyade. Na company next year or Bundesliga no Europe or sign or quarter sign semi obey because adwuma bia we bia your limit. They believe say bia Bundesliga re limit. What do you list say Diaz, Hurricane, Musiala, Karl-Heinz, Pavlovic, Kimmich. Bundesliga. In saying this, I think you are my best defensive partnership for the Champions League this season. It happens to be this duo. Arsenal, no argument. In my opinion, we will name the best centre backs Champions League this season. Maybe just 4 pay. And then I'll be talking about apart from we the patron name
Marquinhos.
We can talk about the brilliance and the ecstasy in the final third, but they've been solid at the back. I'm protecting goals so no goalkeeper the power. Me, I'll put these guys ahead of buying Bruno. Jerry Martini Kubasi, any more saying Upamecano, Jonathan Ta. omienu animu
center backs.
Yeah, understanding
center back pair.
Yeah.
Omo this season in the Champions League. Omo gino na so ye Arsenal de no. Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba. Ifriwa William Pacho Marquinhos. No aba Kubasi and Gerard Martin. And Sana Upamecano and Eta.
Omienu no will be fourth pairing, even though they got to this stage, and we must sign. But they've exhibited some level of understanding, even though we are immature. Upamecano move your company over market. On market, I be able to rumor buying and looking for replacements around company. They would have to work around this. May highlight BBK to be actually echo. Their zone 14 has always been opening up miraculously. I don't know how it happens, but it has been opening up in a very dangerous way. Arsenal will take opportunity of that because this is what I'm talking about. How to be
6 in
Holy BA. And any time be also be no not Vitinha or flexion ever. 2 no ben referee no. Have you seen that? Because only referee in our arrival late. So watch Vitinha here. But already in the position, you know. And Alfonso Davies are occupying now. You know why Vitinha is late, you know? Because he's built on the ball. Not really much roles without the ball. Into the ball next year, no come.
Off the ball, and I say João Neves, a year Jumana more.
And he said vacancy. It's not the only time I've seen this. When they made this goal from this zone. Okay, listen there now. Listen there, so
Parino.
Oh, Parino, that's right. Yeah. So far born on the coin. I'm taking you through. Listen, you can see that it has always been this zone.
The only referee never.
He's always close and late, but always do referee. So our bro said you, but yeah, zone happy. Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal, because Arsenal or Ezeho and Omodigad in that same zone or more. And this is a Paris Saint-Germain game. Yeah. My friend say about referee na seven there. You see, me a young coach, me can referee asem. And it's not done no more in a man cabin. It's quite unfortunate, but I think back on they're born in sa. I will honor referee society of the anyway. When it dear, yeah, I had a born in Sano, and your box no dear no.
I walk can't dear now. I Conrad Lima, they born in Kona. I see a ball Lima Momun Sano.
I know dear, yeah. The guy was just shocked. And we dear, we the next year, PG, and also I just done it. No, referee decision there.
Companies who say in Sebi Mimi and you may be.
Coach Tanko Koka said the 3 gentlemen or Boise. Obviously, are putting the game in this report.
Well, new but I say Mike bra. Na was a good morning, Fancy. Paris Saint-Germain will surely do back-to-back. Even next year, they will still win. Arsenal are just visitors. They only want to see how final is played. Sergeant Pepe and at the far a YouTube on so at the buy and where Felix I don't say Musiala literally broke the Bayern attack and press. He wasn't effective in both legs. Ono Sanka ayi ho no man ko nyo na be start na bri planning tia Mike
Fancy me da say yenchi obia you see area say ne abrabono you go where you will be needed, not necessarily baby I say ye kure mu ama ya famisa my emfanisa. And that is the story of Luis Enrique. He is where he's needed. The same Enrique who was not given a job by Chelsea, he walks into an environment or more embracing the football concept ideology, and then total backing. Yes, support will say the opposite way in here. I am pimping. If you are to head a project or lead a project, you need that kind of backing. Support, you know. It might be different from how Perez operates at Real Madrid. The Enrique Peso Oyeno. Onyane Sato Troto ewa Real Madrid. Enye. Players one chase ya wombo boni bino. Untimi nye ewa honum. So the environment plays a crucial part in defining whether you become successful or otherwise. Abra wodo ideas say juma. And at PSG the environment is helping. The materials available, team I assemble. PSG players the average age is like 24. The one you know bro 28 years, you know. Back on Fabian Ruiz, I know what 30 years or so. So clearly there's a very young squad who now have bought into Yeka coaches or Magic Champions League multiple times. He's currently part of that. But baby Okono, or tin who if you're more my no that tallest no, or tin who if you mu ako ekuku dam nankasa. And if Kyrie is not taken and he wins this and a third one, how many coaches have won the Champions League 3 times?
In 3 finals.
And yet 3 finals and put it in 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah. How many?
Zidane.
Bob Paisley, Liverpool.
And Jupp Heynckes and so on.
Jupp Heynckes is here twice.
I'm quite say 2.
Heynckes is here Madrid 98 and Bayern Munich 2013. So he is moving away from Mourinho mo. Oh, mienu. Pep Guardiola, mienu. Miensa Pep ya miensa. Mienu into sa Pep mo territory no. Which is Pep, Bob Paisley, Zinedine Zidane, Carlo Ancelotti. Right into that era. And again, he is making a history for PSG. So you can see the list. Zizou, Pep, Bob Paisley, Ancelotti age 5.
Ono Krasa as a manager.
Oji 2003 with AC Milan. And then normally 7 appear Juventus Moko final the penalties here. And at 2007 no Liverpool revenge for 2005. Arsenal at the Sima. And Okobe second spell or DG2 Vinny with Benzema and Vinny in Bellingham or the J. Oh yes. And about Paisley Liverpool
as a player or 7 or so.
Yeah. So how Enrique well na 2-2 for the doors open. But Enrique nebe fro if he wins this, he will jump from 19th to 4th or 5th. From 19th to 4th or 5th. And he will be getting closer to Champions League greatness. Now Obio yes adie we biano. You establish a dynastic period. Dynasty a period of success inspired by one club. Dominance. Madrid, Madrid have established dynastic periods in the Champions League. 3 times under Zidane, back to back and back in this Champions League era. Then before, Omoje 5 at Tuaso. Then we've had other teams also come to dominate. Back to back, Yeka clubs they are esteemed or distinguished clubs. Enrique, the PSG, Ibrahim, first nan common come. Como say no why say in como di AC Milan, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Ajax Amsterdam, sad teams I can see no PSG ne ba be right into that bracket. And I fear for opponents of PSG because said me bo almost squad age, average age trail. This is a team very young. The way they played Andra I'm for if he say PSG nya break right from the knockout stages of last season. Ebo we ye Club World Championship onya break obebo UEFA Super Cup wa bo Club World Cup or bo season way domestically. No wa sans wa bo Champions League and wa bo Edu stage say. So there has been no rest for them in the last 12-13 months.
Yana be more Premier League complaining schedule ni. Matches are
Omunya rest sir, but check their endurance level. And stage you could clearly tell. Santokana funo Bayern. Physically, technically, whatever. The moment he was a company, the Nicholas Jackson Banham so company game known to me. The moment I saw Jackson, on your player company rely on. And Temrem wire Dane now the Jackson, meaning company is desperate. Tino ye. Upamecano or the one by Leonard Carl. He was desperate. Who's a bro tactics so after the day you know yen tungumi and try the ABC. Check the endurance level of PSG. And then the coaching of Enrique. Oh check it changes Enrique here so munyama and kame pepa. Oh ye a winger at the fullback by ohun say Nuno Mendes do stage bo yellow card afa ye ni bre ba Bayern on right side ho Sadio or the Lucas Hernandez be pay Nuno Mendes so no me defend against Olis.
So Enrique Diano
after say Bayern first 2 changes, Bayern first 2 changes by 67th minute.
Yeah.
And Enrique responded here, Bobo.
So Enrique cry the kind 65th minute. Bradley Bacola.
Anna why?
Ebai. Anna 76 or the Lucas Berardo. Ebai. 76 Cronano. Hernandez. Lucas.
And to how many free more mobile?
Okay, so Mamen share or more
Berardo be yi why?
Yeah, Berardo
screen is no.
Yeah.
Berardo be yi Fabian. Berardo is naturally a central defender. But also type one defensive midfield. Sadia Vitinha or Mami Fabian. Vitinha betting about Fabian Rono. Berardo betting about as the DM, but he will also add up to the numbers. And where do stage be? Na PSG players or moye behind the ball. Na say ball na FAC or mono. No moye 10. Na ba ko pen away nim. Tina dey better na say you need defensive football ni attacking football. E approach. PSG inti be say no more defensive. Debi is the approach. Yeah. Team of ball defensive on Shabako. But the approach to the game, they were facing the ball and they had more men behind the ball. Sorry, more men in front of the ball. Inti ball no bar or move face. That is what they did. Nachake, Lucas Hernandez. Again, the tactics behind this is Nuno Mendes were yellow card. Kvaratskhelia had also that left side, also a yellow card. Bakuko could trebia the however Sadia and the Yemfa wine fambra. Yeah, the Lucas Hernandez beto left so no abua Nuno Mendes. They are curtailing the threat of Michael Olise. Because
so Baku the red card it means Obama say
final. So it's a tactics and the moment 79th minute me who Nicholas Jackson for Jamal Musiala and so and Tokana for company on me in Tokana for no. So Enrique drew that stage and or the PSG drew the dynastic period. And dynastic periods where they were at work need to be one. Madrid had 5 twice in 1969 CN. Benfica came to do with 61, 62. With Eusebio, Bella Gutman, coach almost above Benfica, the also moving, almost there was a period of Inter Milan with Helenio Herrera, and that was the advent of Catenaccio. And no mobile ball 63, 64, 64, 65. Or more boy a brand of defensive football no be who be that. The end are not Thierry Henry and Rhino Special and the Ayas team. And also from the 70s they by with Johan Cruyff.
Thrice in a row.
Almost 3 times from 1970 to 1973. Bayern the big breakies are dominant no with Dietmar Kramer. No almost 3 more almost 3 times in a row. Liverpool by your almost there Bob Paisley 76 and then 77 78. Nottingham Forest with Brian Clough. That was where English teams also started to spring up and dominate. And Mubia and Aston Villa beji back on. Then almost beji back to back. Now in the late 90s approaching the late 80s approaching the early 90s, Arrigo Sacchi and AC Milan are Faye and Silvio Berlusconi, former Milan owner, they were we, and also best so team Nimua, and on Ancelotti can who be no. And they won it in 1988-89. And then repeated it in 1989-90. Then Madrid. Echemua and Tolomoba Bayesadi way. Enti clubs they belong to an esteemed company. Was a baby born in a French club ako credit. Adeng. Marseille made the final twice back to back. Bako or Jebako pe. And ye share no Bako. Ejifri in same rest out Belgrade. What am I saying? Dang. Club by Champions League back to back. Although it happened frequently during the European Cup era, by a format in the Champions League era, it has been very difficult. Club only a certain prestige, only Sabako same way back in or breaky every mayesa. And if Enrique does it, he is breaking that divide because in the Champions League era, it is only Real Madrid, and here a Champions League no a Madrid there. Yeah. And it's a PSG to me behavior. It is telling you the new face of football in the direction Enrique is writing a different history. And that is how significant is here. There is enough time before the final. But if Arsenal are the best team in the competition, they will be facing the most complete team in the competition.
Hey, if Arsenal is the best team
statistically
in
Champions League this season, they are facing the most complete team in the competition. PSG team, no, from start to end. Enrique nim team, no players, no nim. And Andra, they group stage say what's a year results.
I was even shocked when Anna buying for no ball corner kicks, thinking so. PSG for apart from maybe a Pacho Monet, Fabian Ruiz, no, Omar Cannon, she didn't need height and I said, yeah. But and what can I say? You say clear Bobby, you are nervous,
yeah.
The shortest man on the pitch.
So clearly, Omo air build and you're careful. We've seen teams try this. Akumia Bubu, Alex Ferguson, Manu, Omokwaje or Moscow, and Omoba Roma, Barcelona for the Momo. But in the space of 5 years, Manchester United, Pep Guardiola would not have won 2 Champions League titles. And imagine it would have been Alex Ferguson and Manchester United. So Ferguson established a dynasty in the context of the Premier League. But in the Champions League, they were denied a dynastic period by another great team. Pep Guardiola now called back to back. The team that prevented him from making the final was also a great team that did an undoable in Italian football. Jose Mourinho, Inter Milan, almost treble. Can Arsenal emulate greatness and prevent Enrique from a dynastic period?
3 weeks to go.
Exactly. Especially when you don't have history backing you. Pep attempted with Barcelona. No, Barcelona were not your typical Champions League team. No, I did 2 pay. So Wontumi back to back because Unya Santino. Why it is easy for Madrid to do that is because they had a great team and they also had history. The Enrique, they don't have the history. The Amwa Pep, he didn't have the history. The Amwa Ferguson, Man U was not your typical Champions League team. Tony Bass Abishia Sana history mbaki obia. I feel you be amfana ho dembo. E hona ade ne wo. Fancy away from Champions League komo metimi ama history lecture ni we bebre. I don't want to veer more into that. We are Madrid fan. Now we are a proponent of Mbappe out and now Mbappe in. Vini out or Vini in. You are a shameful fan.
Hey,
I'm saying this. Mbappe out, Mbappe is a problem. You are a shameful fan. We are disgraceful. And why I say this is that you are failing to appreciate the history, the rich history of your own club. Say stars to me more. Who said that? Laszlo Kubala, Ferenc Puskás more. They were not stars in their own contest. When Puskás escaped after the Hungarian Revolution, Obe joined Madrid after staying out for a period. I think he joined Madrid after 2 years off. No boy MTK Budapest. And then the Hungarian Revolution of 1960. And I had to treat players with Brasso. So he stayed home. Puskás joined him more year. I think it should be 56 or so. I start to be correct, but I'm going to find him. Or joining him during that period, there were stars in the team and they had egos.
Okay, so August 1958.
Yeah. So he stayed home for 2 years. No, but joining. Or the Omoje Champions League nibi to aso. Before said Benfica Beji. What am I saying here? There is no written football rule that says that 2 stars cannot align and play for a club. You only need structures and you need certain factors to be at play. Mbappe is not Madrid's problem. I say we Macan. And Mbappe and Vini can play together. They can coexist.
It's not coach also.
Who said they have to be best of friends before they play?
Wontumi.
Mebo. Which prototype nature say? My best friends in Kwana Mobetimi Rini. Because I can cite a lot of times. Yeah. Omo your best friends in Kwana. Omo we need see omo aye who's omo your best friends. The BBC, Benzema, Bale, Ronaldo. They were not best friends. They won. MNS, they were best friends. How many times did they win? 1. Champions League omoje baako and omo best friends no ye die so an omo de beje back to back and back. What are we Tony Cruz and Modric anyway? Were they best friends? No, but there was mutual respect, and it was because it was within a certain structure. Madrid problems, Mbappe might be an issue, but he is not the problem. And let me explain to you. Whatever Madrid is facing, a leadership issue, a structure issue, a balance issue. I'm breaking it down simply in the shortest possible time. Yeah. Leadership nene say the entity na players e kontokwa club kese bia e political esi. Especially when they don't win. Yeah. Confusion taisi dressing room and tokwa argument ekosu de bia. You will not know. In fact, let me give you a clue so who tis oh here. Radio stations, sports teams now huno. And tokwa omoku ansa no mabet na abeye program no da. You will not know. But when they come, they deliver. All the names that you hear, station A, station B, and tokwa ma from within, you will never know. But omo betina so omo ye adwuma no. It's the same as football because nipa. And then me Florentino Perez Abelua kawa parking in Yoma Kofie. Abelua Koko. He's a poor leader. He's a poor leader. What Madrid have lacked this season, leadership. One, Xabi Alonso did not give them leadership. Two, Abelua weak. Internal issues way back. And when the team does not win, and to me, mask the little issues that happen. And then they are also. So Madrid going forward need a leader to front as a coach. And then leadership amongst the playing body. Yeah, what times are issues see? Now players nanka say share. Oh, where is here? If you are losing out on Cruz, Modric, anyway, you lose leadership in the dressing room. I know more on the Badona 80 pain. Vini, Mbappe, Bellingham, 80 pain. So they would challenge each other. So they need leadership in the playing body. And then on the pitch structure, they Mate. So you don't lose that midfield trial and still expect to thrive. It will take time. Okay. So Mbappe out, Vini out, drop it. And yeah, no need the solution.
Okay. Whoa, me that say, yemre na fee. I remember saying I say anything for the end of clear for nyame match na no mo be so. Was it?
Share omo dru ha say kro mo guanu. Minim omo the players be 18 na na.
Mo say.
Minim.
Ombe dey.
Hey, ja, we so oba we so we captain. Oba we so say just ehunu nko wa.
Na ombe dey sana me bisa.
Because me minim.
Omo bera studio ana
say Omabama programs manager or ever club bisa question say adai mu be chi obi atumo ana
to mo ko
omo na mo
omo na ma ejide sana me bisa
o say omo maba omo se confrontation a
omo be peti ni omo agu ana omo ko ye nya de sa
authority no omo se omo
mo be peti ni omo agu ana mo ko ye nya ne sa
aba good people di delegation
imana atufo
Debbie. Oh, Michael, I never organize or custom of the question. Only Akram Nini Abako Kawi. Boga.
Run to me.
Akram Boga, the leading delegation.
But maybe I find him.
Yes. Yeah, I think, sir, the Mexican friendly neighbor Basso and the collapse will be going on. Subsequently, we are preparing for the World Cup, and it's important to understand how our team necessary any players be on the opportunity. Akwakusi akandi bama ebetimi abuama yetima friend to mapa defra. But say a broader discussion about these players that have been called. Realistically, I think most of the local guys, Mokoya yenya 6 players who Emuba Kopena Mihuni so benya the opportunity to go to the World Cup, which is Salim Adams. But for players like Gideon Asiako, and Solomon Agbesi, any of the other guys that are attached to the list, they are really doubt. Say, ombetimi the opportunity they are called. But Obit says Salim Adams, the man about them Musronko Kakrane, the kind of midfield profile I share any Musi Benyabi or the Black Stars. Looking at the current form of your 2 midfielders, Musi Akaidemai. I've always said, say, your 2 midfielders now, you will say, no. New man Sedan looking like. Koye bebre bra dwene ntiase so a omumienu no ase ye tournament no mo na ekwa akogye agina mu because me hwedia Thomas Partey ukopie mu of Villarreal ne money ni nkofo a wo da omachi no yaw me nya sure say Thomas Partey form we owo no e ma Ghanaians for ana dodo ni padodo na nya rehemu se ye ko World Cup yo metimi abo bibi e buru adwene ntiase so Sibo in the recent performances they raise a lot of questions. I'm a Ghanaians do run contemplate is it the right fit to go to the World Cup and help us? I'm at the midfield position is see in baby age no. You show me a pen who for the Omoko betimi aboy and I'm a Salim Adams Dimbemwa. I wouldn't be surprised. But realistically, I think for every position, goalkeepers also I don't think any of them will go to the World Cup.
Oh, okay.
Goalkeepers me and Solomon Agbesi, Paul Rivers and Moni Gideon Asiako. And Paul Rivers in team na yes team nankasa wo. Younger yes. I'm not sure they are going to the World Cup.
But then who say bibi et me see.
See currently Blasters ankasa goalkeepers train unima na.
Me say bibi et me see.
Oh, yeah. This be you see okay, we can leave room for a injury. But aside injury,
I can't say injury.
I can't say injury, bro.
But before
2006, before 2006, now your top two goalkeepers here, Samir Jane Jojo. Richard Kinston was nowhere in the picture, but your core World Cup, Richard Kinston was our number one. So never rule anything out. See, never because go way list way no. The Emma a special and say a fine blend of I'm afraid U23 list maybe there was a U23 list I'm afraid closing of April you be right this month here
can say fake now
there be and yeah no U23 Olympics team no I'm afraid list they are fresh squad yes. 6 were way mo yes 6 will give you say Siaku Dreams name Paul Rivers no they are part of the U23 team I remember Olympic qualifiers. Defenders, no. Let me try and get you the names. There are 6 players in there. Defenders near Menudia or San Diego FC. So we mumeboa. Menudia Sansu war a year way the U23 team name. He's just a 20-year-old boy or a defender to me as a defensive midfielder. Meboa. Then aside Menudia, you were Oscar Opon. Oscar Opon so at least we are about Granada or you're part of the U23 team. Again. Da Costa entry or defenders way mo or Anderlecht futures or you're part of the U23 team. Abdulaziz is Sabasa Athletic or attackers name or you're part of the U23 team. Prince Amuako or FC Neustadt or Wahabi or you're part of the U23 team or attackers name. Anna Joseph Opoku Zolte Varegem or Belgium. Joseph Opoku so at least way more or Sansi a part of the U23 team. Into how many players do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 players in the squad. Our more call both game against Mexico. Are a part of the Olympic squad that they call Olympic qualifiers. Be to me see. Anything can happen. So this squad list, in fact, a combination of different ideas. I say if any person mo de ball back on, no mo de kum no mami no. Yama U23 boys need be exposure. And if Namabobodin, the 8 players and Bobodin into goalkeepers too. Oscar Pong, Menudia, Da Costa entry, or more count 3 defenders. Oba midfielders now. I think say Unyabium, attackers now Benyabium. Abdulaziz is a midfielders who Benyabium. Attackers is Unyabium. What it means is that he has more exposure, not just to prove say they are ready for the U23 team, but also to justify say if we are considering Black Stars players. Black Stars based there, don't we talk about defense? See a defense nenye. So if you can try young players who prove say they have quality to settle in and do a job. Ebeboa, Oscar Pon your right back. So if he can do a job, no problem. Let's try him. Menudia, central defender and now defensive midfielder. You can try him. Midfield, no, you can try players who say, oh, okay, we'll make me about U23, and then a progression. So what I get this one of a team or the ball U20, no, African games anyway now. A B a part of the U23 team, including Jerry Efie. Ain't na who Jerry Efie and he's been given opportunities to play for the Black Stars, but progressively under 23 now. But omo munya kwenya nembe try Black Stars ni bi no from the U23, let's try them and see how they fare. Then the second intention, your players be a from more mabebo Black Stars nibi, but bibinti ebia injury, ebia loss of form, and a coach now from Mubiono. Let's try them and see. So if you check in this list, Razak Simpson, Ebenezer Aban, and Ebenezer Aban, right, on the War Heart of Lions, you know, and then Ebenezer Anan Saint-Etienne. Anan ye play o to adoba second time, no, or frere no more be ball. Sa 2 friendly games in Uganda and in Nigeria boy Mukwala. Sata no about to ko share Ghana no. Now or you're part of that squad, or a left back and a left midfielder. In fact, o check in a year, he's played like 6 matches for Ghana. But your friend da, your friend biun, and I see in the form near. And then you will issue a left back because he enjoyed Derek Atakong in the Yenje a year Gideon Mensendi. Why not try him and see if a new coach has come? And they are precon a year Desmond of Fire Monfa team when Kobo Mexico. Na Monfa technical reporting bra play a beyond in a performance. So Ebenezer Anand Kobo left back nobody year. Submit a report, let the coach see and see if there can be changes. A womb. 2. You look at players be to say Majid Ashimeru. Or you're part of the Black Stars team, but Epra Edininya, the club side the crowd, Nansian Yejano from Anderlecht, Obama Louvier, the same team as a year, Jerry Free. Okay, Majid, you didn't say all in board, nebo. But I'm out for the breakers, the coach is on by normal amount chance, and an injury so affected. And the Bebo match winning and shady. Are you fully fit? Are you ready? And then can you make an impact? Osha attackers names were Daniel J. AJ can part of the squad of Mofre for Austria and Germany. What happened? You didn't call anyone, maybe I'm more. And you are trying. So in this case, AJ Brabbe Bobby never. You're frail, dear, but try Nayon Hua, dear. Felix Afenajan, part of the Black Stars team, a qualifier for the 2022 World Cup. Naman for say, we served him a great injustice. Yanfananko, Nekariano, Ayebibi, but he's now in Turkey working his way back to the top. Ibrahim Osman. Again, part of the Black Star squad of free team Nim. Let's give him an opportunity to try out. And to check here, it is a strategic list, normal combine here. They want to take it to the game against Mexico and do a lot of analysis to know what will happen. And to sign a list, don't rule anything out. Be possible.
Also, my very quiet and I've enjoyed the Mike Canley angle feedback. The entire makers are same way here. Say I think there's not going to be a lot of changes looking at the current Black Stars teams that we have, especially when I get to me and maybe I build the DFR. Anyhow, I actually oh, I don't want to make and I mean here is that there is a friendly game out here. Ghana beat me about US one man Sacramento. We after Wolves, they no be say Wolves na final friendly game. But I think there was going to be another game. But my list I think it is to make do for positions via ABA lucky. Into I'm citing example says Salim Adams being in this list, looking at midfield issues I walk. Ashimeru part of it. Augustine Watch a part of it. Emmanuel J, formerly of Dreams FC or Moko the Cup Confederations Cup semi-final. Anna Okwe for Manu Diamania Jemopa. Nano Kasama can catch us on the bar. Ono kote me bono ono ye Ghanaian name so no ko no be junior we dey na wo oh David oni mi number ah so e di nkomoda ono ma di nkomoda no be di nkomoda so adi number
akomna so ko oni mo
he's a very good player
na mo aso so oni di nkoma wanjene number
network bisi mi the number and also ntiasia o ma men kasara iti I think me head defense on now there will be much more concentration on me sure say the left center back position no. For the right center back position in your current setup, I think Jerome Opoku, Alexander Jiku, most of these guys say prove yourself. Say Black Stars ne ba ne bono meeting abo. Left back ne Derek Con, any Gideon Mensah, and I think say one person must ama Ebenezer na shot into it. but the broader picture of everything that has gone on with this list I did say yaw we be biaba ebia me ametia akobia a be defense on the midfield back up be Ibisa, the opinion and the other positions are preoccupied. And I think say and no more Carlos Cruz the I want you maybe be I'm an intimidating says so I want to see how some of these players beat is Ashimeru, Augustine Boach, or many don't also am home no Madrid because these are boys are has a main because Madrid are not Canada and US for no be a place of national team because the conversations that were going on after almost season say he's been splendid. Now also moye no adwuma na mutima ne besi akande momo. Okay. But interesting to see. Selection with the eye this man offense no more than Carlos Cruz.
Say no dey nyare. So bo you am the report back. So omo na ekwa akobo nti.
Say who listen na who say nipa we sound no more than Carlos Cruz. So it's interesting to see how that team is going to set up.
Mate. Wo NSF won so ewa ha omaba. Na
o say NSC dey say ISN kwade diane. Incolak ne SMA
na to phone to away I'm welcome away well my me birthdays in you answer na my buy say for so na wo your birthdays no so quick na fe ye ne NSC for no medin komo say nyame admoch no ne Wontumi sports bo mo ne Wontumi e wo match e Baba Yara Sports Stadium page no so de so kama na motwa so de muntwa so na mo water so ye o chine be dim wo agro bruta na someone pete bibia nwa de na me birthdays me bam so what the can happy birthday to F4 Edem or X and so from OKT ranking was say yema happy birthday na nyam kancho say nyame enyo kese na fe wakoma so ade bia no wanya memrem ma F4 Edem once again enjoy your day to the max from OKT ranking and happy birthday to Naomi Nene our Konfanoche Teaching Hospital CSU comms department ana wone your birthday yema wodapa birthday Williams the nyoma p na ba kan nyina me ne mic ya fa ti na mensro kra happy birthday so wodi enjoy your day happy birthday to was to blue or South Suntraso we one kasa ofara one Don Hazard and say or mau awodapa kwara so state nti nas to blue and your birthday from Hazard and no say ye mau awodapa happy birthday to Nanama Jan Columbus Ohio US from one kasa unuake to Vivian say yen kancho say osumbo emano na otawachi se unua ketwa ana wa wo ye pani a wodi kan so na me se unsin from kra tine eye wo de wo sre wo sru nhira enso ema once again na ma Jan enjoy your day. Happy birthday to Pastor Steve House of Faith trade eho ana wo Beatrice ena we show eye happy birthday say enwo sre nyame mfa bi nkan na omanenye kese omane noso na fe on tretere wahiem Pastor Steve also enjoy your day. And also to Nana Fia Kubi Sewa Ampem and wa Nana Fia Kubi Sewa Ampem and birthday. Happy birthday from Namofonia Busia Phone Nano Omonso Air show. Happy birthday to Nana Ama Owon Cry, Anna Wo Nana Ama and birthday. Enjoy your day na to a bomb pa channel and Yamema Wakoma Swadiam Nafi Omabibia and your fine Emma. And also to Alberta Bonsu, we teacher ni Hampton Case College. And order from Ofa, Mr. Franco Uswansa, aka Uncle Fada, or no, and I will show a order paso. Enjoy your day, Alberta. One can say, young cancho say, Yamen Koswan Tunsu Paninguso, na a Koswa Fa Kumapa, and a Trimupa, and so and Nante. Happy birthday to Nana Queer Free, a year Bennett Beauty Parlor, our Greek Junction. Ana osuya juma na na kwa free from abusuafo ne na wofo ne nyina no say omo Emma happy birthday na retwato happy birthday to famous and famous and so awoda also enjoy your day to the max. Yes, mama NSA for na kwabo penny say ho ye de Akopado no ya pa.
E ma humpo to the brown ni ma menso kra why obi anyo he
Akopado no ya pa
man you ni wa shada no za se ni edin am oboa so bibi e fine there
bibi e fine
okay na awia yi
coach asa
awia dey boko
am coach
ni ambassador yo
okay coach into
awia dey boko eja yo ho na yenyanti yese Wontumi atun safre yese on person mo ne yere
mo na mo tun safre na se tun safre mo
me pe niam ne de mo na mo tun safre ye because mo hwa ye set na mo na mo tun mo safre ye se on person mo ne yere dey esi akan because what ye tell me hu say baba yara de ye mfa lose wo hoda ja se mo person mo be yere mo be try mo na no wo ntini ye ba ya na je say ye kwan so ne ye be hwede wa mo toto ne ma na ansa mi room no kra steps na no ami hu say ne ma bi gu fom akwankyera mi ye ansa ye room no mo ye dem ntimi ye yo
okay
ani ma matoto a ya say ni ya baba yara na oba be Francis be say mbisa wasem se mo ba e be sa park nde bia mo baso mo hu si so mo border mo be komri kaba ko de 100 meters ya mama makọ ansa cry ahwe say mo fitness level no betimi abobo na because you room no play the way mo trust we play and me hu ni sa
okay
Debi ya mama makọ be 100 meters ambulance su si won ti ya hwa wa obeti atore na say ya de what to transfer game ni amama ya den abesi park
ade ya den say de mo kanyina ya recording ti ya na any problem
no problem
okay na mo so 11 ne de
yen mo pe cra first team no e be de han cra an cra de man team no cra be shia de wa mi hu ni man ya de man team ni be shia
e ba hu ze mama no mo no so sa ho ne ze me do 10 cra je mo aze mo team ba mo be shia nesi
na Wontumi team oba time ene equipa oba time minim na no adro
baba ya na mo baba ya na
Shadrack bo position be
Oza mo kasa minfi mo de mu dwomo no
o da we na no yesi agro ni form
okay
ni na kura no mo chena mo mra na mo try nhwe
so mo
timi a
Nancy
openi
so de bia mo ti Rudiger nka
mai
Rudiger mo baba ya ra Rudiger ba ko pe na to na
okay
na mi anini eti samo ba mo mvo mo ho because I ba say no I say yam pese be kasa be because ye who player ka e be kasa be betima ato atena bi ama Wontumi for
Pepe su na tencha
so dia say
ana Pepe we
on na tencha
Pepe we
on the ground Pepe ni diga fans on the ground
I want to say the disappointed sports council team na be ball
Filippo
Inzaghi way
Filippo Mr. Kano
match moment to inshallah
musuru
mwana musuru
mutim ni nshem kran
agro form
so na mo ya show say na se mo so 11
agro form
musuru
na mongo bisa massive
eh question na me bisa mo me bisa say NSA mo so 11
e benya teams mi ensa
ya mo the sports council for one players na
ane
see mo pesa mo bo how many minutes mo dey manka
45 90 minutes
oh okay
the data on the nsuro
referee ni free
e ko fa referee na ba
okay
neutral ground
mo na mo dey na ba
David mo so mo pa mo ntro GF mo ntro
David dey someone na organize ball
mo dey mo fa mo referee
mo fa mo referee na nya hwe
David
e jina center bosh e go Wontumi nka say
bien
ba jo so mo
we
we ya mo ni bo ba she boot we
AI
so who we so
me say fast ye boot mo me say
ye
oba time keep an ko
ye de kobo na no ya no obi anyusu bi mu
AI
oh okay
what's the try was here
okay
ana hu
mate to dia mon kan ye nhye mo say mon kan say mo bre o say ye no mu nyina wa squares anya fa aspa dabi ye nya mo de ye nhye mo say
yankasa agro ni form
Captain Son Cassandra, no.
Okay. Echinamona momme so ne aduane momu so yen nom.
I don't stretch.
You both read a bit.
Oh, yeah, that town quality is true. Nana Jama.
That be me just say. Before.
Oh, that's how I had a way after theft.
Before Nigeria.
After theft. That's what I and your pitch no. Oh, whatever. Coaches me.
Mama, someone who coaches no.
Maybe someone said, Mama Baba.
I know there's some found. See,
I be different room.
Getting somebody a drop it. So
where are so
I see it.
I
see it as I say.
I see come team no.
Now what was all the
what Astro Teve compare Baba?
We saw more pass our tournament to last 2 Friday and say,
hey, Raddy,
team we need to say.
I still come team no.
As I'm told, I don't say, or would they confess our players be? Oh, Ashton here.
Astro Teve.
Any Baba
no.
Yo, Yati.
Baba.
Today, I am say.
Oh, I wish I'm
say. Handicap. Bro. National Yamea, the near Bubo in a Mulusua.
It's home in Lusuda. Baba.
Only one a mobile pretty. Baby neutralizing on your money and said I'm a pretty. Congratulations, there's some baby.
Now, got him a modi beka, who do I in Shamo? Because you go sad, you demand that team's no money at the Bomatana. I must say, I'm more banitino. Captain, with the back of the movie, I'm going to share my teacher. I'm going to go to my service and Branfu. Only a show, the BI show. I'm going to 5-1. I will move home. Indeed, and you.
Yes, some one home.
The more can chat to.
Like I said, it's here, regional director, Nana Jama Dakwa.
Okay.
But now, also, then. Or the Bible to tie the director, it's here.
The support on this cake on you because mobile good in mass. Besan tell is aroused. Wait, I don't know we don't wear captain now. In Zagis, I don't see mobile. And Dina would be Italian Dina mobile.
Oh, there,
with Timuna or Bata keeper. Or Bata. I don't want to say.
That's not a
about time short radio because maybe also move from so ni put back
Astro Teve.
Now the about time is still a campaign but you want because I know about time the me yes road say maybe also be for now so be for now numbers are same come by also one day mo me no ntamasem am pounds one can wa ha ama me suro o say nkura na beje ano o say nkura no kwan ya beje o ma ka che o say me ma mi hwi I television ade mo ma wo ya yo dia mo ya no
mo ma ji sama bo nyina Astro Teve o che na mo baba ya
uni
baba ya na mo
kasa tete topon me da se kasa tete topon wa ye una ba wa ni say dia fro na baba frofo ebri wa
o enye hu
na mo anyway what the twa to say na we mo chia mpanifo na
ye chia regional accountant Mr. Steven Gbemu
so ba bi mo chia ko ba bi scan won ho
chia estate manager esa chia NST staff bi ya
ye shema mama ye dey
ye ba mu nsu ano
abi ero de ye duru ade ebe
okay
yan kan here
sheba ye be stadium keys no
I just stadium keys no na season first half no koroko bo bi ya be tie percentage
aha de mamu nka say ahaka ho de anti twanye
ozo musuro
mo ma metu gate
ozo musuro
ewia
omo ya ma se musuro
e bi ya bre hey enum gapa Well, nyame arma china 4 o'clock adwene power specialist ebidim komo sisi na mu mo china 4 ene NSC ebebo baba na bibia fine there
nyame adro
doc ho ye
na doc no ho ye